It is time for shots and ladders.
Let's restart.
Damn, why did I do that?
I was mirroring you, and then I was like, wait, what?
Hold on. Okay.
Take two.
It is time for shots and ladders, your home for gambling, drinking, and degeneracy. Week 6 of the NFL season is upon us, and with week 6 brings changes, wholesale changes. We've got a few of them. Number 1, we ditched the screwball. This week,
It's out.
we're drinking Crown Royal Peach,
Colson
which
can't handle it.
is not as smooth as screwball. But we had to get rid of it. There's a couple reasons.
Bad luck.
It's been bad luck. That's reason number 1. Our ladder parlays have busted on the first leg. Not the first group of legs, not the first 3, but just the first leg. This box, it's been an ongoing trend. This is the first and last time we're going to talk about it this episode because I think the amount of attention we're giving it, we're almost manifesting it to be true. That it's fucked and it's fucking us. And we're not gonna deal with that bullshit anymore. We're making wholesale changes. Crown Royal Peach instead of Screwball. I'm not wearing Cardinals gear. He's not wearing Steelers gear.
Nope.
What else has changed? I've got the baby monitor because Janie's out of town, so I'm watching the child. He's sleeping peacefully. What else has changed? There's a bit of a hope is a good word. Hope in the air in
Hope's
this
a good
town.
word. It's a great word.
In this valley, in the Treasure Valley where we live, the greater Boise, Idaho area. There's hope in the air. There's joy in the air. And there's a running back down at the campus. Ashton motherfucking Genty. This guy's
I have
unbelievable.
never seen a player play like Ashton Genty does.
It's so cool that
So much fun to watch.
have him in our town. I can't scroll through my Twitter without it being, and maybe that's because it's like my feed is just giving me, like my algorithms just give me Ashton Genty shit, but it's not from local Boise beat writers. It's Fox, it's CBS, it's college
Every
football.
big sports podcast right now can't stop sucking his dick. And I love it. I love it. He's putting Boise State on the map in a way that Boise State hasn't been on the map for since Kellen Moore.
Even then, because it
wasn't
like
to
social
this level.
media wasn't as big, and like podcasting and
like, we couldn't make a playoff. Like the situation back then was so much different than the situation is now.
Yeah,
the team back then was twice as good as the team is now.
Wait,
100%. Ashton Genty is so good that he is carrying this team.
You might be right.
He is putting the team on his back. I mean,
defense is
no one's going to admit that our defense is the best defense ever. We got a decent defense. They're making some plays. They're playing ball. We got a decent offense.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing some ball. But decent, and then the best player in college football is making this a good team and a fun team to watch.
I love him, dude. He's doing interviews too. Like his interview with Coach Pete, where Pete's just like, well, and even on the Pat McAfee show, like they posted their clip on Twitter of Chuck Pagano last Thursday's wearing Boise State gear, and they talk about Genty for a while. And then the last thing that Pat says before they cut the clip is, why did he stay in Boise? And then the clip ends. So Pete doesn't bring it up, quoting Pat, but he's just like, so people are wondering, you had an amazing year last year, which Ashton Genty did last year.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a surprise to people in Boise. Everyone in Boise
we knew him. We knew him coming into the year.
Ashton Genty was going to be incredible. We didn't know he was going to be this good, but he's like, why did you stay? Like he was getting, I'm sure, multi-million-dollar offers from every big school. And for him to say, money's cool, but legacy, and I can't remember the exact quote, but he's like, he just says everything perfectly. Like such a good person, such a good guy, but running the football, he's unbelievable. So Connor and I went to the Boise State home game, playing Utah State on Saturday. And it was funny, we had to take my son, who's 7 months old, and he had a hard time at the tailgate, but we get up and we're up in the skybox, and it's kind of quiet up there. He's calmed down. He's good to go. I'm like, all right, this is going to be easy. Utah State gets the football. They go 3 and out. punt it back to Boise State. Everything's good. Baby's still happy. First play of the game, handed off to Ashton Jeanty, 63-yard touchdown. The entire place erupts. The decimal meter hit like 105 or something, and my baby, poor Colson Jr. just fucking lost it.
He was not a fan.
It's so loud.
Not a fan.
But it was like that the whole game. I mean, he had another 75-yard touchdown run. He had another touchdown, 3 touchdowns, 189 yards, and he only played the first half. So good.
That's the craziest thing is people are comparing his stats to the stats that have been from like the best running backs in history in college football. Most of people are comparing him to the Barry Sanders year, when Barry Sanders just took over college football. People are forgetting that Ashton Jeanty's putting up these numbers, and he's getting benched at halftime. I think he's been benched by halftime in 3 of their 5 games?
Just 2.
So
he's missed 4 quarters.
4 quarters.
Through 5 games.
So that's really through 4 games. He's at 1,000 yards, and 13, 14, 15 touchdowns? 16 touchdowns? It's disgusting. The stuff that he's doing right now, it's never been done before. Or it hasn't been done since Barry Sanders.
Right.
No running back in college football has done it. If he keeps up this pace, he will go down as one of the top 5 college football players of all time.
Football players, wow. I agree. I love the...
I mean, you can't argue. Can you argue it?
No,
like, if he continues the pace that he's on right now.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, if he gets hurt or if he falls off a little bit, they're still going to... I still think he's going to win Heisman, but he's not going to be able to be in that conversation. But if he continues the pace that he's at, top 5 college football players of all time, I don't think it's really a discussion right now with the way that he's playing.
I don't either.
He's plus 225 to win the Heisman right now.
Yeah.
On DraftKings. We got him at what, plus 750? You got him even better than I did.
I got $15 to win 600, so I got him at like plus 30,000.
That's crazy.
So yeah, that was after week 1. But my concerns are, and they're not even big concerns, because the nice thing is Heisman's always been a quarterback award. There's no quarterback that's going to win the Heisman this year. Like, quarterbacks, barring Ashton Jeanty and Travis Hunter getting hurt, there's not a quarterback that's... Yeah. Like, Quinn Ewers was there. Like, he was probably going to be the front runner, but then he gets hurt and he's out 3 games. Jalen Milroe was there. He was doing really good. Then they lose to Vanderbilt. Cam Ward almost loses to Cal, didn't put up a great game. Like, maybe his schedule's not very hard.
He's third in odds right now, but from everything that I've heard, it's a 2-man race right now.
Yeah.
It's Travis Hunter and it's Ashton Jeanty.
What I'm worried about is if, like, the last running back that did really, really well, Melvin Gordon, put up 2,600 yards in, I can't remember I think it was 2014. He put up 2,600 yards. Obvious Heisman frontrunner, but the problem was Marcus Mariota that year had 51 touchdowns or something. And Mariota
it has changed recently, though. So out of the last 5 Heisman winners, I think only 1 or 2 have been quarterbacks. The Heisman Award is definitely not so
just a quarterback award.
Yeah. Well, it's not like the NFL MVP. Like, an NFL MVP is strictly a quarterback award. Like, the last running back to win it was AP back in 2012, and it's probably not going to happen again for a little bit. But so you look at it, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams. Oh man, I was wrong.
It was
I was wrong. What was I looking at?
I don't know. Because Devontae Smith won it, but other than that, it's been all quarterbacks.
Yeah, you're right. Out of the last 7, it's been just Devontae Smith. I mean, you know this. I don't follow college football as much as I follow NFL, but I thought I had read something that...
No, it's mainly a quarterback award, but this year it's a 2-man race. My worry is if Ashton Jeanty, number 1, keeps getting benched at half, number 2, doesn't keep putting up the numbers that he is, and Travis Hunter... Travis Hunter doesn't have to do much
because he's good, though.
Well, he's playing 160 snaps.
In any other college football season, I would be the biggest Travis Hunter fan.
Right.
Because watching him is so much fun. Like, watching someone that's playing as elite as he is on offense and defense, it's so much fun to watch. I'm going to love him when he goes to the NFL. Do you think he's going corner or receiver when he goes to the NFL?
I don't know. I think it's hard to say. I haven't watched enough of him to make the prognosis. I think a lot of it has to do with where he's drafted. Because let's say the New England Patriots draft him 3rd overall.
Mm-hmm.
New England Patriots have Christian Gonzalez, one of the best corners in the NFL. They have a really, really good defense. Their receiver room is like, I mean, you have Jalen Polk, who's a rookie, who's like been doing pretty good, but like I really can't name a lot of receivers there. He would play receiver for the New England Patriots, but if a team like say the Cardinals somehow we lose out the rest of the year and we end up drafting Travis Hunter, which I would be very upset about. We need linebackers and defensive ends, but even interior, just anything front seven. But if we drafted him, like, we're not really hurting at receiver. We're hurting at corner. Yeah. We would need him to play cornerback. So I don't.
So I mean, you know me. I love watching defensive backs. Like corners and safeties are my two favorite positions to watch in the NFL. I pay attention to how well they do because that's what I always wanted to play. But I'm slower than dirt, so obviously I couldn't play either of them.
That's correct, actually.
But so watching Travis Hunter as a corner, I think that his best route, like if he's going to be the best NFL player he could be, he's going to take the Deion Sanders approach, where he's a corner, but maybe like 6 or 7 plays during offense, he's going to come in and just be that electric second slot option where you're giving him an end around or he's taking a slant somewhere, and he becomes an immediate focus when you bring him in, and he's going to distract away from the other receivers that you have.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the best route.
That's a good take.
Because here's the thing. He's going to want to keep playing both, right?
Yeah.
Like if you grew up playing both, you played college playing both, you're still going to want to play both in the NFL. I think NFL teams are going to be much more willing to let him be a corner that sometimes plays receiver than a receiver that sometimes plays corner.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think his best route is going to be going into the NFL draft saying, hey, I want to play corner and put me in on some receiver snaps, put me in on some special teams plays. And I'm excited to watch him. Any year that Ashton Jeanty wasn't doing the godlike things that he was, I would be supporting Travis Hunter so hard. I still am. I want him to do great.
Minus odds for Heisman if Ashton Jeanty wasn't in the college football range.
Cam Ward wouldn't be keeping up with him. No shot. So, but it was awesome to watch. And one of the coolest things for me was being there in the game. So we were up in the skybox, and we were the second row up from the skybox. And the people in front of us didn't show up for the first little bit. So we were kind of front row for the first probably, quarter?
Yeah.
And it was cool watching that first Ashton Jeanty play because you could tell the people that watched college football and knew about Ashton Jeanty versus the people that didn't. Because the people that didn't were like, oh, they're 60 yards away. They're still sitting down. They're dealing with their own stuff. They're getting food. No one's, sitting there watching. Yeah. And the people that knew college football, you could watch, were, sitting up and watching Ashton Jeanty. And they were the ones that started cheering first, and then the crazy stadium erupted.
Yeah.
The stadium didn't erupt until he was halfway to the end zone.
Yeah.
Because it's a 1st and 10 run from your own, 40? No one's paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so much fun.
You see that player that has the angle on him. So most casual Boise
State fans
are
tackled
thinking,
so many times.
Oh, yeah, big run, big gain, hell yeah, let's go.
But the four of us were, sitting up on our chairs, we know he has the ability to break a touchdown from any place on the NFL, or on the field.
And we know that guy's not going to tackle him. There was never a doubt in my mind that guy was going to,
no, this guy's not going to
fucking tackle him. One-on-one in the open field.
Doesn't happen.
From that angle? No, Ashton Jeanty literally leans into him. Fucking get off me, you stupid bitch. And just, oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Oh, I love him.
We talked about that.
I can't wait to get Ashton Jeanty jersey is going to go up there next year for whatever team drafts him, unless it's the Browns or the Cowboys. There's such a good chance he's going to go for the Cowboys. Because I'm going to buy an Ashton Jeanty jersey no matter what team he goes to.
The Cowboys are notorious for having Boise State players, too.
The Boise State is a pipeline to the NFL for Dallas.
The Dallas Cowboys.
And it hurts because I hate the Cowboys so much.
I know.
But, oh well, enough about college football. You guys are here to listen to some NFL takes.
Yeah, let's talk NFL. Let's do better than we've done.
Quick little Thursday thing. Niners.
Seahawks.
Crushed them.
Yeah.
It was a great game for the Niners. Didn't go good for our bets. I'm sorry if you tailed. No one expected Jordan Mason to leave the game in the first quarter. I hope he's back in next week.
Yeah, me too, for my fantasy.
Obviously, he was on the sidelines. He was warming up. They teased us by giving him one run to start the second half and then benched him the rest of the game.
So much hope.
We were, I was delusionally hoping that he was going to come back in. But you know what? He didn't. So
Bet's busted.
But go Niners. Niners crushed them.
Good game. I love that the Niners won that game because now we have in the NFC West, we got the Niners are 3-3, Seahawks are 3-3.
You guys are 2-3, so if you win it, because you guys are 2-0 in divisions.
If we beat the Packers, we're first in the division, which would be fucking incredible.
Huge.
Yeah, love that.
Going into a three-way tie with both the Niners and the Seahawks having question marks.
Yeah.
If you guys can go on a run, dude, chances are there. So
playoff bound.
That was a Thursday night game. Moving on to Sunday though. So the first game of the week.
Yeah.
In London.
London game.
Jags are going into London, playing against the Bears. Bears are technically the home team,
Right.
but London is a Jacksonville team. Like the Jaguars' second home is London. They play in that stadium at least once a year. They're actually playing there 2 weeks in a row this week, so they're just staying in London, which I think is awesome. I would love to be a Jaguars player and just be able to hang out in London and just hang out. You're like, yeah, this is my second home. We're good.
Instead of
Bears have no sort of home field advantage. This is the Jaguars' home turf. It's as close to a 50-50 matchup as you can get right now.
I don't understand where the Bears are getting their 1 point from.
So I have noticed that DraftKings is one of the. So we've bet across multiple platforms in the years that we've been betting. I've never seen an even money or even lines on DraftKings. Someone's always one under or one over.
There's no
it's not. Ever. Yeah, so it's. I think this is truly an even matchup, but they're just giving it to the Bears for technical home field advantage. But I think it's a toss-up game. So Jacksonville looked amazing last week for the first time all year. Trevor Lawrence came out on his birthday and crushed the Colts in a high-scoring, high shootout game. It was the first reads that we've seen from Trevor Lawrence where he looked like an NFL quarterback in almost a year.
My problem with that is, though, that the week before, who'd the Colts play? The Steelers.
Yeah.
And Justin Fields, well, the Steelers lost. Justin Fields puts up 300 yards passing. Week before that, who do they play? Colts play the Bears.
Yeah, the Colts defense is
Caleb Williams puts up 300 yards passing, and then Trevor Lawrence puts up 300. Like, putting up 300 yards against the Colts is, to me, isn't super telling.
See, and looking at the stat line, I would agree with you, but going through and watching the game, because obviously I missed the game, I had some other stuff going on, but I went through and rewatched that game because I had money on that game, so I was invested. I've got Jaguars and Colts players in fantasy, so I wanted to watch them play. Trevor Lawrence was actually making good throws.
Yeah.
And it was more than what the box score showed, because the box score obviously looked amazing for Trevor Lawrence and the Jags. But watching him actually make the throws has been different than any of the first 4 weeks. Like the first 4 weeks, he didn't look good. He's missing reads. He's
overthrowing or
he's
underthrowing.
staring down his receiver the whole time, and that's why he's getting picked. Like, it's not been good for the first 4 weeks last week, and maybe it was just because the Colts defense was that bad, but he was making some good throws.
Yeah.
It kind of gave me a little bit of confidence in him. In our Pick'ems league, I took the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars are going to win this.
I'm with you.
Going to London is a big thing.
Jacksonville owns London. Like,
Jacksonville
really
owns London.
Like, they've always played really well out there.
I wonder what their record in London is.
Look it up.
Who are you taking?
I'm taking the Jags, +1.
So Jaguars 6-5
in London.
In London,
it seems like it should be more.
So I want to see, because I feel like it's been recently that they've been getting better. I wonder if they have them like listed out. Should have looked this up earlier because I meant to talk about this. I can't find it like listed out here. Yeah, the site's usually pretty good at it, but
it's all good.
But yeah, so it'll be a fun game. It's nice for us to be able to wake up that early and watch football. Like,
I fucking
you got to wake up at 7:30 and watch football. It's crazy to think about like East Coast because they're so far behind. They still have to wait till 9:30 to get to watch games.
Yeah,
we're up bright and early, and we can already turn on the TV.
I can't imagine that, living on the East Coast and having to wait till 1.
Think about last week. Oh my gosh!
And then you have.
I don't want to talk about that game, but
right. But then you have 4:25 for the what games for us are 2:25, and then like they're falling asleep during the fucking primetime games. Like on a Sunday night, the game not starting till 8:30. I mean, it'd be kind of cool because you go to bed watching a football game, but I don't know that. I'm glad we're Mountain Time. Mountain Time seems to be the best. 11 o'clock.
So the Jaguars are 5-6 in their last 6 in London. They lost a lot of their first couple because they were
5-1 in their last
5-1. Yeah, 5 out of 6. Sorry, 5 out of 6.
Okay.
5-1 in their last 6.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I said that wrong. But yeah, so they own London. Caleb Williams has been really good. I've been a fan, but I think this is gonna be a great game. I'm gonna be excited to watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, give me Jags +1. You said you for that as well?
I'm with the Jags, yeah.
Okay.
And the under. I like
44.5 is the line.
I like the under.
You like the under? I'm actually leaning towards the over.
We'll
look at both of the teams have been able to put up points. Like they've both been struggling to win matches. So I think the Bears are 3-2.
I'm just worried about the field for that. Like, for me, London games, I'm probably going to take the under on most of them as the year goes on, just because the field is so slippery. Players are slipping all over the place.
Bears are 3-2. Jaguars are 1-4. So it's that record thing that I was talking about. Like, Jags feel like a team that should be 3-3 or 2-4, which is what they're going to improve to. Bears feel like a 50-50 team, so going down to 3-3, yeah. So what were you saying about the field? Sorry,
you're good. The field's so slick. Like the surface that they play on in London sucks, and I feel like that negates a lot of there's a lot of 3 and outs. I feel like when the field's that slippery, because you have your first down zone read that running back tries to make a cut up field to whatever zone opens up, whatever hole opens up, and they slip and they fall, and then you have whatever the progression is. I feel like in London specifically, players are slipping and falling at such a high rate that the game just becomes short. The clock's running a lot, and there's not as many explosive plays. I don't know what.
A lot of running the football when you have a wet field. And the Jaguars, so ETN has been off to a slow start this year. Especially Tank Bigsby though came out last week and he looked good. I got ETN in a couple of my fantasy leagues. I'm stressing a little bit.
I've got Bigsby. I've had him for 3 weeks, and I've had him on my bench, and I think this is the first week I might just.
See, I don't know if I'd feel confident starting him yet, but I wouldn't hate you.
I might.
I wouldn't be upset if you did, but okay. So we're both going that. Yeah. Moving on to the 11 o'clock state. Starting off here with a game that's important to your household.
Indeed.
Commanders-Ravens. Commanders coming in as 7-point underdogs in Baltimore. Kind of the battle for that territory of the U.S. They're both the closest teams to each other right there.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of Commanders fans at that Ravens stadium still.
Your statement is not true, but
who's closer?
Well, New York's in between Maryland. You're right.
You're wrong.
You're right.
I know. You're right. Take a shot for that.
I will.
Actually, I will too. Gotta get this crown.
So, because we're taking a shot, we need to talk about Boise State.
Commanders. Jeremy McNichols. Third string running back.
Yeah. He's been scoring touchdowns.
He's been a touchdown monster.
Also, so right now, as we're filming this, Arizona State and University of Utah are playing. If you are a Boise State football fan, like we are, here's the deal. Based off of the way the playoff is set up, if Boise State wins the Mountain West and is ranked higher than whoever wins the Big 12, Boise State will be the 4th seed and we'll get a first-round bye. So we're rooting for Iowa State this weekend to lose to Iowa State plays Arizona. No, Iowa State plays West Virginia. Well, Iowa State to lose to West Virginia. Yep. BYU needs to lose to Arizona, and then we need Arizona State to win this football game against the University of Utah.
We need Sam Levitt to step it up, which is funny. Unfortunately, Sam Levitt wasn't able to join us this week.
But we're watching him play quarterback for Arizona State. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Peachy.
That's up a touchdown right there.
Touchdown, Arizona State.
Perfect timing. Yeah. Okay. Commanders-Ravens. This feels like a huge spread for how good the Commanders been playing. I get it. The Ravens have been playing good, but this is a big spread for how nice Commanders have looked.
I don't love it, dude. I really, really have. I like picking the Ravens money line here, but picking the Ravens to win by more than 7 points,
it doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good at all. And the Ravens have been winning close games, like the Bengals last week. That was just an absolute shootout. I think the Commanders have looked a lot better than the Bengals.
Yeah. It's one of those games though where it kind of feels like Jaden Daniels has been absolutely amazing. Best rookie quarterback in the NFL by far.
Yeah.
He's not going to keep doing that every week. It's not sustainable. The Commanders' offense has a lot of holes in it. They've been playing very good, and I'm not trying to take that away from him. But it genuinely feels like there's going to be 1 week where he just comes back to earth, right? Comes back to reality.
Yeah.
I think that's this. As much as I hate the spread, I'm actually going to take the Ravens -7.
Really?
I am. I don't feel great about it because I think this is going to be a good game. The over is 51.5. Smash the over. 100% I'm taking the over on that game.
I'm with you there. So, interesting factoid. Google real quick. Ravens defensive coordinator, just because I don't want to get it wrong, but I think his name is Zach Orr. So,
yep.
The Mike McDonald, Ravens defensive coordinator, gets hired as the head coach for the Seattle Seahawks. So they promote Zach Orr to defensive coordinator for the Ravens. Their defense hasn't looked phenomenal, and that's a hard shoes to fill. So John Harbaugh just hired a couple assistants, I believe. Like, I don't know if they are consultant positions or what it is, but assistants to Zach Orr that are going to help him run and call and I forget the other word. Just map out basically the way, for lack of a better word, map out the way the defense is run for the Baltimore Ravens. I think it was a really, really smart move. I think the Baltimore Ravens defense is going to come out looking a little bit better. I think this is going to give them a bit of a pop. Also, it helps the timing of it all after having a really tough game defensively against the Bengals and then coming into the Commanders, who have looked so phenomenal. To pull off a move like this, I think it's really smart coaching-wise. And as from a management perspective, I think the Ravens defense is going to step up a little bit. I'm also going to take the Ravens. It's in Baltimore, which people don't always talk about what it's like playing in Baltimore, or like, talk about Baltimore as one of the hardest places to play. Those Ravens fans, dude, I mean,
they're brutal.
When I went to the Arizona game where we played Baltimore last year, the Ravens fans, it was about half the stadium, half of State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona was full of Ravens fans, and they were fucking loud, and they were obnoxious, and they were,
they were cheer for their boys.
Nuts.
They cheer for their
And they're smart football fans. Like, they did not cheer when the Ravens had the football.
Yeah.
They were quiet when the Ravens had the football. As soon as the Cardinals get the football, they're so loud. They're smart football fans. They're situational. They know when to cheer. They know when not to. I think it's tough to play there. I think Jaden Daniels is in for a coming to earth moment as well. I like the Ravens -7. I will.
It's the downside because obviously as a Steelers fan, I'm rooting for the Commanders in this game.
Yeah.
But coming to Jesus moment here for Jaden.
Okay.
One of the cool things about this game is that only 2 players in the NFL that are averaging more than 6 yards a carry are both playing in this game.
Derrick Henry and Brian Robinson?
Nope.
Derrick Henry and Jaden Daniels?
Nope.
Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels?
Nope. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. They're both on the Ravens.
They're both on the Ravens. Wow. Nice.
I was trying to trip you up with that.
Yeah,
I think it's crazy though that in 2024 when there's such an emphasis on passing, it's fun to watch Lamar and it's fun to watch Derrick Henry right now.
Yeah.
It sucks as a Steelers fan to have to watch them play in our division and play them twice a year. But they're fun to watch and they're both doing great.
Yeah.
Props off to them.
I'm gonna take the over as well. I think it's like 30-4. I was gonna take the under, and then I was like, because I could see the score being like 30-14, but then which is 44. But then I'm like, I could also see it being 30-21, or give me the over.
So I feel like throughout the first 5 weeks of betting, when you and I are both mirrored on both the spread and the over/under on a game, it's not gone good for either of us. So I'm going to take one for the team here. I'm going to change my bet to the under.
No, let me.
Nope, I already did it. I already did it.
Look at this. I have wrote and crossed out which one I'm taking twice. I went over, then I went under. Then
I'm switching to the under officially because I think this is going to be a running game. I think the Ravens defense is going to shut down Jaden. I think that Ravens, Jackson, and Henry are going to take over this game. They'll both have a touchdown in this game. I don't even know if there will be a passing touchdown in this game. It's all running. Low-scoring affair. Okay.
Let's go to
Texans. Are you switching to or?
No. Yeah. Let's go to Texans-Patriots.
Drake May.
Starting.
I was half of a game off.
You were half a game off.
Half a game off on the prediction.
There, brother. You're always right there.
It hurts that you're a half game off. But I'm excited to see Drake May. I hate the Patriots, but the Patriots being good was so good for football because it gave everyone something to root against. I don't feel the same.
We all have that now.
I don't feel the same hatred for the Chiefs that I did for the Patriots.
It's because we win money on the Chiefs. But
Also, the Steelers aren't competitive. So it's like, I haven't hated the Chiefs because they're preventing us. Like, the Steelers were competitive for so many years, and the Patriots thwarted us every single year.
It was like a Bills-Chiefs kind of relationship.
Yeah, that's why I hated them.
Yeah.
So I don't have the same hatred for the Chiefs. I enjoy watching Mahomes play. Yeah. I enjoy watching the Chiefs win. I don't want them to win every year, but I want him to give Brady a run for his money for most rings and most Super Bowls. But the Patriots were such a dynasty for so long that I think if they started winning again, it would be great for them. Teams bringing in a new quarterback adds a little life. Texans are without the NFL's leading receiver right now. Nico Collins just went to IR. He's out. I just made a huge trade in our fantasy league for Stephon Diggs. So
yeah,
I'm going to be rooting for the Texans. 6.5, I'm taking the Texans. If it was 7.5, I'd probably take the Patriots. That 7-point spread right there, that's what's going to do it for me. I think that line is great. I could see this ending, unfortunately, as Patriots keeping it within 6 points. But I'm going to be rooting so hard for the Texans that I don't want to bet against something that I'm rooting for. So
you have Stephon Diggs. You have Tank Dell.
I don't have Tank Dell.
No, you don't. I'm talking Texans.
Yes.
Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell.
Is Joe Mixon back? Hold up.
Yeah.
Is he back or is he still questionable?
Well, he's questionable, but I believe he's practicing. He's going to play.
Let's see here. Yep, questionable. It's looking like he should play, which is good because Cam Akers was not good last week.
Surprise.
I mean, that was great for the player prop parlay I put out. Took his under.
Yeah.
That was the easiest bet of all time.
But you also took James Conner.
Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson's out. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think I'm starting Tank Bigsby then.
Yeah, Mondre's not playing. Yeah, definitely Texans minus 6.5 then. A rookie quarterback relies on two things. He relies on his running backs and he relies on his tight ends. Because they're not great at making outside throws until they get some practice, they get some warm-ups, they take checkdowns. Tight ends, running backs, Patriots backup running back, Antonio Gibson, one of the best pass-catching backs in the league. Could be a big day for him. That might be a good
Austin
bet.
Hooper, Hunter Henry. Also,
fuck Hunter Henry.
I know.
I will still never forgive him. Haven't forgot about that.
Jacoby Brissett lost the quarterback battle to Drake May in the preseason, but it was the preseason. Well, yeah, they were smart. That's what they should have done. But is Drake May that much better? How much of a pop does starting a new quarterback give you? How much does Nico Collins being out with the Gerard Mayo defense change? Yeah, give me the Patriots. It's a confusing one. Yeah. I don't love it, but I could see the Patriots making this a 3-point game. I could see the Patriots somehow. I could see the Patriots coming out and winning this game. Just like it's a morale thing. Like when you're showing up to the stadium, we've said this so many times. When you're showing up to the stadium and you've got Jacoby Brissett as your quarterback who hasn't thrown for more than 150 yards in any game this year.
We talked about it last week. The beat writer for the Patriots came out and he was like, "This team's going to revolt." Like they wanted Drake May because Drake May is the better quarterback. Teams don't want to let a better player wait because they're worried about his ego. They want the best players to play every week because if they're the best player, they're being forced to play.
Yeah. Right.
Like, I think the team's going to do good. I think the Texans win it, but the over-under at 37.5, give me the over. Give me the over because I think that the Patriots are going to score some points. Drake May is going to go through some growing pains. The Texans aren't the best defense ever.
Couple picks here.
Yeah, one. I think he'll only one. But yeah, give me the over. I think they'll score some points, but I think the Texans will do better.
Antonio Gibson over on receptions is
Antonio Gibson over on almost anything. Like that's going to be probably part of my player prop parlay that I put out here. Is going to be something with Antonio Gibson because I think he's going to have a game. Tank Dell has not looked great this year. Like his connection with Stroud has not been the same as it was last year.
Right.
But now with Nico gone, they got to step it up. If he doesn't do good this week, there's concern for that duo. But I think he will. Okay, Texans. Next up, Browns. With the worst quarterback in the NFL going into Philly. Philly's coming off a bye week as 9.5-point favorites. If this game was 15.5-point favorites for the Eagles, I would still take them. not even considering it. Eagles minus 9.5. Browns are one of the worst teams in the NFL right now.
I'm with you.
It's hard to watch.
Like, it is.
They're that bad. It's unfortunate to watch. I don't want to watch them.
Now, next game. Sorry, Trigga, that we're just going to brush over the Browns, but I mean, you know it.
Which one are you taking?
I'm taking the Eagles.
Over under 42.5.
I could care less. That's like such a midline, but give me the under.
Give me the under as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that game. Don't want anything to do with it. Fuck the Browns.
When Jameis Winston's the starting quarterback for the Browns, I will pick them to cover a spread. Until then, I will not.
Did see who was it that was coming out and saying that? Better. Better was coming out and they were like, yeah, Jameis Winston's probably going to be the starting quarterback halfway through. Which is
this game?
It's going to be a huge. It's such a disgusting spot for the Browns because everything in it, from what a lot of people are saying, is that they think that the Browns don't want to be starting Deshaun Watson anymore because he's not good. He's losing them games. But the front office, a lot of people think that the front office is pressuring Stefanski into keeping him into the game because they invested so much money in him. So I saw a hot take. I don't remember who it's by. So I apologize. I can't give you credit because I literally don't remember who it was. But at the end of the year, so say Deshaun Watson finishes out the year. The Browns front office says, nope, we paid him this much money. Keeps going. If the Browns win 4 games, Deshaun Watson's still under contract for another 2 years. Is this going to be the first time in NFL history the Browns have to trade Deshaun Watson and a first-round pick to someone else so that someone else can eat the rest of his contract and then cut him? It's unprecedented. It has not happened in the NFL before. But if you're the Browns, where you're either going to pay, I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but let's say you have to pay $200 million if you keep him or $80 million if you trade him and get rid of him. But to do that, you have to get rid of a first-round pick. Like, say some cap-friendly team like the Panthers. Like, the Panthers have a ton of cap room. They don't have any stars. They're not paying anyone. If the Browns give the Panthers Deshaun Watson and a first-round pick so that the Panthers can cut him and they take the rest of the pay cut, and then the Panthers get a first-round pick, could be the first time in history for the NFL. I don't know if it's happened in other sports, but
I would like to know if, just thinking outside of the box, so his deal was $230, 4-year, $230 guaranteed, right?
Awesome. A 5-year, $230 million contract.
Okay.
And he's in what, year 2? Was last year his first year?
I don't think so. I think this is his 3rd year.
3rd year? Okay, 3rd year. All right. Okay.
So what if, hear me out, I don't know if this is possible, but if people do salary cap gymnastics where they will pay someone upfront via signing bonus on their contract to open up cap space. If you say over his next 2 years of his deal, you owe him $160 million. You punt on next year and you pay him his full remaining guaranteed contract as a bonus, like a signing bonus. You just pay him his $160 million guaranteed. Now his contract's fulfilled. Then I don't know if you can do that, but then you lose the $160 million in cap space for next year, and then you're punting
free on
it. But then next year you're free from the deal.
I'm sure an NFL team could figure out how to do it, but I think the other side of it is I don't think that the Browns players want to play with Deshaun Watson. NFL players don't want him on their team. You can tell. No, the Browns aren't motivated to win games right now. Like, you watch their games, their receivers are running at 2/3 speeds. They're not going out and diving for balls. They don't want to win. They're not. Deshaun Watson's not putting in any effort. He doesn't even want to run the football. He came out on an interview and said he doesn't want to run. He's like, no, I'm not going to run. I'm not going to put my body at risk. Fuck that.
Your contract's guaranteed. You're the one person in the NFL that should put your body at risk.
If I was the Browns, I would try to not use a first-round pick for it, but if I could get a team to do it, because it's obviously going to be a high pick. The Browns are not a good team.
Yeah.
If you give someone a high second-round pick to take the contract, and you eat like a third to 40% of whatever the remaining contract is, and you have another team take on the rest of it just so that they can cut him and get him out of the league, I would do that if I was the Browns GM.
Yeah, I agree.
Bold move there, but yeah, fuck that game. Go Eagles. Hope Deshaun Watson gets hit by a bus on his way to the game. All right, next game. Your Arizona Cardinals going into Green Bay. One of the most exciting matches, I think. I think the line at 5.5. I'm surprised that the line is that much in favor of Green Bay.
Dude, let me just. Every week it's, the Cardinals have one of the most exciting matchups of the week. It's because our strength of schedule has been brutal. Through now going on 6 games, we have had, looking back on it, like I think second toughest strength of schedule of any team in the NFL. If we can beat the Packers and come out of second,
let's look at it. You guys went into Buffalo,
kept
it within 6 points.
Yep.
I think you beat the spread on that. You went into LA, you beat them by 31.
Yep.
You had Detroit come and play you, kept it within 7. You had the Commanders coming in. That was a brutal game. We don't need to talk about that game. But then you went into San Fran and beat the Niners. Besides the Commanders game, you guys have kept everything close. I think that the Packers are a great team. If we're taking a money line bet, I'm sorry, I'm still taking the Packers.
Yeah.
But a 5.5 point spread, hammer Cardinals plus 5.5.
I agree. Give me the over on this one too. I think we're a gritty football team. We've had some tough losses against the Packers in the past. After, I think it was 2021 when we were 7-0, we were playing Green Bay and AJ Green didn't turn around. And
I forgot about that. Oh my God.
And the Packers picked it off. He just hit him square.
We watched that. Yeah,
literally hit him right on the nameplate. Just
that hurt.
Bink. We've had some tough losses at the Packers, but Jordan Love's always going to give you a couple. He's going to give you a pick. He's going to do a dumb play. He's going to pull some Will Levis bullshit, some Carson Wentz bullshit. Like, we're going to get a couple turnovers off Will Levis. We got a couple off of Brock Purdy and the Niners. If we can win the turnover battle, if we can get James Conner going early and often, if Drew Petzing can be in his bag as the offensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals, we can win this game in Lambeau, go to 3-3 with the second toughest strength of schedule through 6 weeks. And then our schedule gets a lot easier. It gets a lot easier.
You guys got a good shot to make the playoffs with that schedule.
A lot easier.
You got a shot. But
we've gone through a gauntlet. I love it.
So I'm actually going to take the under on this game. 47 feels just a little bit high. I think if the Cardinals keep it close, it's going to be low scoring. So I'm gonna take the under. Obviously rooting for the over.
Yeah.
But okay, next matchup. So this is one of the games that's the easiest for me to predict this entire NFL season so far. Always. This is my most confident game I've had this year. Second most confident game. But the first most confident game I was wrong on. So still fuck you, Colts. Haven't forgotten about that. Buccaneers are going into New Orleans. Actually, they've already been in New Orleans because of the hurricane. Side note, hope everyone that's dealing with that hurricane is safe and healthy. There's been a lot of damage with it.
From what I understand, Milton went through an area, even though Milton was a more, like a Category 5, it was a stronger hurricane. It didn't do the random bullshit that Helene did. And it didn't go into like territories that aren't used to hurricanes and aren't prepared for hurricanes. That's why Helene did so much damage. If you look at like what Helene fucked up, everywhere where Helene went, it wasn't too bad, except for when it went into like the western part of North Carolina. It destroyed the western part of North Carolina because that is not hurricane territory. Like, hurricanes aren't supposed to go in the North Carolina mountains, but because of whatever reason, a meteorologist could tell you it shot up there. Milton, it seems like, didn't do too much, and everyone's fine from what I understand. So. But still, thoughts and prayers with everybody that's dealing with hurricane season down there. It's been a tough one. Still, the people in North Carolina, in the western part of the state, are still dealing with it.
Yeah.
So I'm with you there.
So Bucks are coming in as 3.5 point favorites. Going into New Orleans. New Orleans said they're starting Rattler.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler.
Spencer Rattler,
South
quarterback.
Carolina.
I am so confident in this game, and at the same point, so terrified, because everything on paper says that the Bucs should absolutely blow out the Saints. Moneyline bets. 93% of the money is on the Bucks. Spread bets. 80% of the money is on the Bucks. I've already made a significant bet on the Bucks. I got them at -3. The line's now moved to 3.5 because so much money has moved in that direction. And it terrifies me because everything on paper says that the Bucks should blow out Spencer Rattler. Baker Mayfield has been playing good. They've been playing high-scoring games. They know how to score points. The Saints scored points with Derek Carr for the first 2 weeks of the season. They had a decent, okay week last week against the Chiefs, but nothing has instilled confidence in the Saints offense, especially not with Derek Carr. I'm so concerned because that line's so low that it feels like people are. If the Saints win this one outright, NFL is rigged for sure. This is how Vegas is going to make their money on games like this because everyone is betting on the Bucks. I'm still hammering it. If the NFL's rigged, it's rigged. But I'm still going to do it.
The line makes me want to take the over.
Over under 42?
Yeah.
Give me the over on that one.
I'm with you. I
think the Bucks are going to put up 42 on their own.
Yeah.
But Baker has the potential.
The Saints have a really good defense run by Dennis Allen, but Spencer Rattler looked really good in the preseason. He has a lot of experience. He's played in a lot of football games. Anthony Richardson would have to play. Anthony Richardson would have to play in the NFL for another 4 years, and Spencer Rattler not start another game for them to have started the same amount of games in their college and NFL careers combined. Spencer Rattler's played a lot of football.
That's one of the funny things for me is that so Spencer Rattler was listed as the emergency quarterback. So with the NFL's new rule, they can have a third-string quarterback that's an emergency quarterback.
Yeah,
he's
so
not part of their 53-man.
Come in
100%. But Jake Haener was technically listed as the backup. He was the one suiting up for games. He was the one that came in and took over for Derek.
Looked good.
He did not look good.
Bro, his passes, come on. His little dump, his little submarine.
I would not say.
I know he missed out, but then
fourth down, then they're not having him start.
On fourth down, he throws. Come on, you got to give me this. On fourth down, Chris Olave is running kind of a seam. He throws a fucking rope, frozen rope.
That was a good one.
Hits Chris Olave in the face mask. That was a good one. Awesome throw. I thought Haener looked fine.
The other thing with it though is so we've been noticing it over the last couple of years or last couple of weeks that the Saints have been playing. The Saints have had a lot of injuries on their offensive line, and Derek Carr was under pressure the entire game. That might have been part of the reason that Haener didn't look good last week. Is that every play he was scrambling. He never had a clean pocket. I think it's going to be the same thing this week. I hope that the Bucks destroy them. Give me the over. Give me Bucks -3.5. I'm very confident. I'm so confident that I'm scared about that square.
I'm gonna write it down.
Okay. Because I took the L last week. Out here in Idaho, we have a very limited selection of stores and shops that we can buy jerseys from. And I took a trip to the only two out here. Neither of them even had a single Giants jersey. So I have a Giants jersey on order. I know I was supposed to wear it this week.
Did you get the right player?
I did. As soon as I get the jersey, I will wear it for whatever. As soon as I get it, whatever the next episode is, I will wear a Giants jersey on stream to fulfill my bet for last week. But that's the downside of living in a place where there's only two shops out here that have football gear.
They sell Seahawks jerseys, Broncos jerseys, because those are the closest teams.
Yep.
They sell Niners jerseys.
Ton of them. Raiders,
and Packers,
Steelers, and Cowboys.
Steelers.
Yeah. The top teams and then the couple that are closest. It's there's not a huge selection.
I can't even get Cardinals jerseys. In Arizona, Phoenix is fucking
so
9
close.
hours away. Yeah, I don't get that. But, okay, I'm with you on the Bucks. I'm with you on the Bucks. I think this is a bet the house. The Bucks actually lost last week.
Yeah.
Finally.
This could be a big one for them to lose again this week.
Yeah, this one the line just doesn't make sense. For the line for the Eagles versus the Browns to be -9.5, that it's not like they're being conservative, and then for this to be 3.5, it stinks so bad that I like it. I'm down to put not even Bucks money line, but Bucks -3.5.
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
I've already put significant bets on it. Over under 42.
Over.
Perfect. Damn, that's 2 games already that we're 100% aligned on. and I switched one of them. That would have been 3 out of 6. That's big. That's big for us. We don't do that a lot.
Down in Nashville, Tennessee, we have the Titans hosting the Indianapolis Colts in an AFC South matchup, one for the books. Do we know who is starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans?
No.
Do we know who's starting quarterback for the Colts?
As everything has been said, it's still Will Levis. Nothing's been said about Mason Rudolph coming in and being officially named the starter. Did look better than Will Levis. Will Levis has been the reason that the Titans have been a bad football team. Anthony Richardson is supposed to play. I think the Colts have a better shot with Flacco still. Flacco looks better. He's a veteran quarterback. Richardson, as we've talked about so many times, he's so young to the game of football. He's got all of the intangibles. He can throw the ball with a flick of the wrist. He can run like no other. He has the potential to be a great NFL quarterback, but Flacco is a better quarterback right now. If Flacco were starting, I'd be 100% on the Colts. With Anthony Richardson playing, I still think that the Colts should be a 3-point favorite. I don't know why the Titans are. Hammer Colts +3.
So these are like polar opposite situations, kind of. So you have the Colts who have a veteran quarterback who is clearly a better football player at this particular point in time than your second-year quarterback who you spent the 3rd pick of the NFL draft on. So you want to play Anthony Richardson because Anthony Richardson isn't going to get better unless he gets snaps. You're not a Super Bowl team, probably not a playoff team, regardless of whether you're starting Flacco or not. So might as well get Anthony Richardson the reps. I understand that situation to an extent. Will Levis looking way worse than Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph's not old. Mason Rudolph's 27, 28.
No, he was.
Mason Rudolph can start in the NFL for another 12 years. And he was in a, like when Mason Rudolph sucked, I guess you could say he sucked for the Steelers. He looked better than anybody else for the Steelers. Who was his offensive coordinator? It was Matt fucking Canada. Really hard to blame Mason Rudolph for the way that he performed it in Pittsburgh. And then he comes out for the Titans and he looks unbelievable. And then Mason Rudolph or Will Levis's shoulder is better, so you put him back in. You're not spending a bunch of money on Will Levis. You didn't draft him in the 1st round. You drafted him in the 2nd round. Mason Rudolph looks better and he's younger. Will Levis very may well have a Sam Darnold story where he's a starter in the NFL at some point. But for him to start for the Titans when you know Mason Rudolph gives you a better chance to win the football game, that makes 0 sense for me. So if Will Levis is actually guaranteed starting for the Titans, even if Anthony Richardson's starting for the Colts, give me the Colts because you know Will Levis is going to make a couple dumb plays. You know he's going to turn the ball over. Gus Bradley's defense is the worst part about the Colts. And team after team after team has put up historical offensive days, or I guess for the year, they've done really, really well against Gus Bradley's defense. I don't see Will Levis doing it. Like Mason Rudolph could go into or could host the Colts, and he could throw 350
if Mason Rudolph yards. Started, I might take the Titans on this if Mason Rudolph.
I might take Mason Rudolph over plus 225, like 330 yards passing. Like Mason Rudolph could tear this team up, but Will Levis, I don't see him doing it. And I might eat my words. Maybe Will Levis comes out and has a hell of a game. Maybe.
And if he does, hats off to him. I still have anger towards the Colts, so it would feel good for them to lose this. I don't see it happening. Over under 43 though.
I like the under here. The only reason I would take the over is because of how bad Goof Bradley's defense is, but I don't see Will Levis tearing it up.
Is Jonathan Taylor supposed to play again this week?
No, Jonathan Taylor's out.
Is he still out?
Yeah, he's not playing. You can look it up because you don't believe me, but I promise you Jonathan
Taylor's
out. Not playing.
No, I know. I'm regretting it because I'm pretty sure I dropped Trey Sermon in our fantasy league.
Well, Trey Sermon might have a bit of a game. I think Alec Pierce is going to have a good game. I think there's going to be a couple explosive plays. Other than that,
Alec Pierce is looking pretty good this year.
He's awesome, dude.
So you're taking the under?
Yeah, I'm taking the under.
I'm going to take the over on this, just because two bad defenses. Titans aren't a bad defense, but I think the Colts have the potential to score so many points, and I think that the Colts are guaranteed to let up a decent amount of points that I think this is going to be an over.
I get your reasoning.
Titans
I think
defense,
it's
though, is nice.
If
L'Jarius Sneed was one of the best off-season additions. Coming in at corner, oh my
Right.
gosh, he was so good in Kansas City. And he's
Corner?
been corner.
Huh.
He's been so good on the Titans. It's been fun to watch.
So,
Also,
yeah,
that was a good third down stop by Arizona State.
really good
Third goal. Down. Look at that. Ooh. Oh,
that's halftime now, right?
So no, they got one more play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. This is one where, like, if I was gambling, and you give me this over under 43 for this football game, I'm not going to bet on it. But for the sake of our picks, I'm going to take the under. I think it's a pretty good line. But I keep getting mixed up Canales and Callahan. Canales is the coach for the Panthers.
Yes.
Callahan is the coach for the Titans.
Yes.
Okay. I think on one episode, like week 3, I was talking about Titans head coach and I was calling him Canales, but
honestly, neither of those head coaches are going to last for another 2 years. So it's like we don't have to learn them. They'll both be fired by next year. Going into the next one though, okay. Bounce back game here, huge. We fucking need this. The Pittsburgh Steelers coming off a 2-game losing streak. That game last week hurt. Sunday Night Football, everyone's watching. The Steelers, the Steelers and the Cowboys have such a history that's like deep roots in the NFL. We've played in 3 Super Bowls. Like the Steelers and the Cowboys do not like each other, and I wanted to win that one so bad. Came down to the last minute drive by Dak. The Steelers defense got torn apart. DeMonte Casey, who's the Steelers strong safety, he should not be playing. He got burned on so many plays. He's been burned this entire season. We need someone on the opposite side of Minkah to help out. But Raiders...
Buda Baker's on the last year of his deal.
I would... Oh my gosh. Could you imagine the Steelers defense with Buda Baker and Minkah on the backside of it? Oh my god. I'd buy a jersey instantaneously. I mean, I already have a Buda Baker Cardinals jersey, but I would buy one for the Steelers for sure.
He's so good. Did you see his press conference?
No.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. So the PFF is like taking over. You see like the PFF grades for players. His PFF grade is so low.
Really?
It's dog shit. And they asked him about it, like, your PFF grade's pretty bad, yada, yada. And he's like, yeah, so I just, I don't really know what PFF has going on. I go off the grades that I get from my coaches, and my grades are like 95, 98%. So as far as I'm concerned, as far as my coaches are concerned, I'm playing really well. And my coaches happen to know, like, what defense we're running and, like, what my job is and what I'm supposed to be doing. And so they understand, like, whether I'm doing my job or not based on, like, the particular play. So I don't know what the fuck's going on with PFF. Like, just literally shits on PFF. And J.J. Watt has been, like, echoing that sentiment, too, for a while about how PFF is utter bullshit because they don't know what the play call is. They don't know, like, oh, this edge went high over here and didn't make the play because it's like, well, that edge's job was to
go high.
Get high. Like, they don't understand the football. They're just a bunch of nerds. And watching Buda Baker shit on them, I loved it. Because if you watch Cardinals games, Buda Baker's played unbelievable. Like, he's making tackles in the backfield. The PFF rankings are so dumb. Anyways, sorry to interrupt, but go ahead. Steelers
in Vegas.
In Vegas.
In Vegas.
Which is not a home game.
Aiden O'Connell coming in.
That's notable. Playing. That is a big notable.
Yeah, huge. Could be a momentum boost for him. We have a really good friend that's a Raiders fan, so I'm rooting hard for Steelers. Not want Dustin to get that Raiders
Christensen,
win. Can't have that happen. Cannot have that happen.
Yeah, no.
Devontae Adams still not playing. Jacoby Myers got locked down last week by PS2.
You're in for a ride. That's one where you will be getting. That is a certain friend of ours where you will be getting text messages that entire.
Yep,
game.
I will be. The nice thing about it is his wife and her entire family are all Steelers fans as well. So it's like he can't go too hard because he doesn't care as much about football as her and her side of the family do.
Right.
So, like, if the Raiders win, or if the Raiders lose, he's going to be okay. If the Steelers lose, though, they're all going to be depressed, and he's an antagonizer. That's going to be a rough household to visit.
Yeah.
If the Steelers lose this game. I wish it was a 2.5 point spread. The Steelers don't blow a lot of people out, but Aiden O'Connell looked really good last year.
Yeah.
It scares me I'm taking the Steelers -3. I don't want that on here. I'm putting that out in the universe right now. I do not want that on the bet because I don't feel good about it. But I cannot pick against the Steelers, against a subpar Raiders team.
My problem is the Raiders don't ever have a home game because they're in Vegas. Like, that's the most travelable to.
Yep, anyone can go there.
The Steelers specifically, like, this is goddamn near a Steelers home game. Like, when you imagine how many.
I think this is a Steelers bounce back game. I don't see us as a losing 3 games in a row.
I don't either.
And a lot of people are wondering if Russell Wilson's going to start coming in soon. If Justin Fields loses this game, I'm worried that he's going to start for us next week.
He will, for sure.
I don't want him to. Justin Fields gives us a better chance to win than Russ does.
Did you see the play? Who's your backup, Kyle Allen?
Yeah.
He comes in on one play, throws a seam down the middle of the field, 30 yards, like a dart. Cole just comes in, pat. Like, how do you
imagine if he comes in and starts and just?
Well, how do you watch that and then say, like, okay, what is Justin Fields even fucking doing? Like, we can just do this at any point in time, and we haven't been.
So that's the thing. We haven't had that ability to do that every time. Our receivers are getting bunched at the line. Like, we're not creating separation for Fields. Like, he's making some pretty good throws, and he adds just enough of a running ability. Like, Arthur Smith wants to be a running football team. I think Justin Fields gives us the best chance for that because you have the option for a dual threat, like read option play. Mm-hmm. Kyle Allen's definitely not going to give us that. Russell Wilson's in a retirement home by now. He's not going to get that. Justin Fields gives us the element. Like, if one of the other 2 quarterbacks come in, teams are going to move their defenders closer. They're not going to be playing as many people downfield. Like, Justin Fields, I don't know. From everything I've watched, and I'll admit, I was not excited for him to start. I was worried. He had a rough preseason. He did not look good.
Yeah.
I was scared about either him or Russ starting. But after watching Fields, I want Fields to be our starting quarterback, at least for this year. I wouldn't even be upset if it was a multi-year thing. If he could continue to win some games, like if we can go 10-7 or 11-6 with him at the helm, he should be the starter again next year. I want him to do good. I want him to come out here and win it. The 36.5 point spread, second lowest in the NFL.
Over under.
Yeah. 36.5 point over under. Second lowest this week. Low spreads make me want to take the under because I don't know if the Raiders are going to score 10 points against us. So I'm going to take the under.
I think you're going to have a pissed off Max Crosby. I think you're going to have the pop from Aiden O'Connell. You're not going to have Devontae Adams, but I think there's a chip on the shoulder for the Raiders coming into this game. I think the Raiders are the kind of team under Antonio Pierce that plays better when there's more away fans in the stadium, if that makes any sense. They're just that kind of gritty team. I like the Raiders here to cover the 3-point spread, in part because of our friendship. But
it's fair.
Also, when you bring in Aiden O'Connell, like Aiden O'Connell's not going to come in and shit the bed. He's going to put up points. Can the Steelers keep up? The way Justin Fields played last week and the week before, yeah, he had a lot of yards.
But the Raiders' defense is a bad defense. If he does bad against this defense, I think Russell will be our starting quarterback next week.
Okay, I'm with you, but give me the Raiders. Over under 36.5. Give me the over here.
Really?
Yeah. And that concludes our first hour. We've got through all of the morning games, and then 2 o'clock game coming up will be the Chargers, Broncos, Falcons going into the Panthers, Lions, Cowboys, Bengals, Giants, Bills, and Jets on Monday Night Football, and then we will build our ladder parlay.
Make a little player prop parlay.
We'll do a player prop bet. We'll do another fun segment that we haven't done before that I'm really excited for. But we do have to empty our bladders and refill our beers. So,
shout out first hour. See you guys in, for you guys, half a second.
We are back with Shots and Ladders, your home for gambling, drinking, and degeneracy. As we take another shot, of Crown Peach. That marks 3
It's hitting good.
shots on the episode of a liquor that is much less smooth than Screwball, but is arguably better tasting and probably better on the hangover, probably better on the next day.
I don't know about better tasting. I love the taste of Screwball.
The taste of Screwball is
so
better.
good.
I think this is better for the hangover. I think Screwball, the only reason that liquor can taste that well is because it's packed full of sugar. Update on the Arizona State-Utah game, even though by the time this video is posted, it will have already happened. Arizona State still up 13-9. It's looking good. We need Arizona State to win here.
Playing some good D.
We need Boise State to get the 4 seed. Now, in the first hour of the episode, we went over all of the morning games, plus the 2:05 Steelers and Raiders game. While we were on break, we emptied our bladders, we refilled our beers, and Connor Allen Franklin did happen to build most of his player props.
Still working on the rest of the player props.
Okay,
but
we've got a little. Because
we're gonna make it. I'm not losing again this week.
We got a little ways to go.
I've got to hit. I'm due. It's been like a week and a half since I've hit a plus 1,500 bet. That's too much. That's too much for me.
It's a long time. For the first time in Shots and Ladders history, we're introducing a new segment. This one, Connor doesn't even know about it.
I don't. Are we doing this now, or are we going to finish
We are doing this now, and then we're going to finish off the games. We're going to start off hour 2 with Connor's Rapid Fire Uninformed College Spread Picks, where Connor is going to pick the spreads on 15 of the Saturday college football games with little to no information because he does not
follow a ton of college football. This is going to be based strictly off of vibes if this is what we're doing. I don't know what the spreads are. Are you going to hand me a sheet or just tell me them?
I'm going to go through. I'm going to run through the list.
Let's do it.
I have all the games that I want him to pick. I'm going to circle what team he picks. I'm going to place a singles bet. We're going to start, for the sake of it being the first time you've ever done this, $5 per line of all 15 games, and we will be back next week to talk about how Connor did on his Connor's Rapid Fire Uninformed College Spread Picks. Starting off, we have the most exciting matchup of the week, Ohio State, number 2, going into Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon, taking on the Oregon Ducks. Oregon Ducks are giving 3 points to the Ohio State Buckeyes in Eugene.
Ohio State -3.
He takes Ohio State, smart pick. Then we have the South Carolina Gamecocks going to Tuscaloosa to take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama giving 21.5 points.
Give me Bama.
Bama to cover the minus 21.5 point spread. We have the Georgia Tech Hornets, something like that, Yellow Jackets, going into the UNC Tar Heels in North Carolina. UNC is getting 4 points at home.
Give me UNC.
UNC. We have the
UNC +4, right?
+4, yep. We have the Clemson Tigers going to Wake Forest. Clemson Tigers are 20.5 point favorites. They are ranked 10th.
Give me Clemson.
Clemson to cover 20.5?
20.5, yeah.
Okay, we have the Washington Huskies going to Iowa City to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes. Iowa Hawkeyes are 3 point favorites in this game. Washington is coming off of a really, really good win, just so you know.
Tell me the spread one more time.
Iowa -3. Washington +3.
No, Washington +3.
Okay. Go Huskies. We have the Wisconsin Badgers going into Rutgers in Maryland. Rutgers are 2 point favorites.
Give me Wisconsin.
Wisconsin Badgers. He is picking teams that he knows of. Stanford Cardinals going to Notre Dame in Indiana. Notre Dame is 22.5 point favorites for Stanford.
Give me Stanford to cover.
Number 1, Texas at Oklahoma. This is the Red River rivalry. Oklahoma is 15-point dogs in Oklahoma at Norman.
Give me Oklahoma to keep it close.
Oklahoma to cover the spread.
Oklahoma to cover the spread.
Number 4, Penn State Nittany Lions going to Southern California to take on the USC Trojans. Trojans are +4 underdogs at home.
I love USC, but give me Penn State.
Penn State's a bunch of dogs, dude. They're a big-ass football team.
I'm going to be rooting for USC, but give me Penn State's going to win that.
Miller Moss is going to get beat up. Okay, we have UC Cal, University of California, Berkeley, going to Pitt in Pittsburgh. Number 22, the Pittsburgh Panthers are 3.5-point favorites.
Give me Pittsburgh to cover that.
Cal's coming off of a close game against Miami. Arizona Wildcats going to Provo to take on the BYU Cougars, who are ranked 14th in the nation. BYU Cougars are 3-point favorites.
In their entire history, Mormons never win anything, so give me Arizona.
Arizona, love it.
Fuck the Mormons.
Number 9.
What?
Easy. You're talking about Sam Levitt's family here.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm just doing that because of BYU. BYU has beaten Broncos too many times. I still have nightmares about playing them.
Yeah. Number 9, Ole Miss goes to Baton Rouge to take on the LSU Tigers. LSU Tigers are 3.5-point dogs, ranked 13th in the nation.
Tell me the spreads and the ranks one more time.
Ole Miss is ranked number 9, coming off of a pretty bad loss to...
I remember watching that one. They got
Kentucky, I think.
Beat up, yeah.
And then the LSU Tigers are ranked 13th.
And what's the spread?
And LSU's 3.5-point underdogs.
Give me LSU.
Okay, love it. Then we have number 18, Kansas State Wildcats going into Boulder, Colorado. Boulder, Colorado's 3-point underdogs. Colorado Buffalo.
Yep.
Deion Sanders' team with Travis Hunter and Chip.
I think that they are able to get more than 3 points on that win. Give me Colorado.
Colorado's 3-point underdogs.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Now we have more than 3 is what I meant to say.
Iowa State Cyclones, number 11, going
15 this year
into Morgantown, West Virginia, to take on the West Virginia Mountaineers. Iowa State is 3-point favorites.
Yep, give me Iowa State.
Okay. And your 15th Connor Rapid Fire Uninformed college spread pick. Number 17, Boise State going to Hawaii to take on the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. Hawaii is 20.5-point underdogs.
Yep, give me Hawaii. Psych! Fucking Broncos all the way.
Broncos
you
to
can
cover
tell
the
me that spread was
20.5-point
50 and I'm taking the Broncos. I don't give a
and
fuck.
Ashton Genty. Okay, we got Ohio State, Bama, North Carolina, Clemson, Washington, Wisconsin,
honestly,
Stanford, Oklahoma, Penn State, Pitt,
Arizona,
LSU, Iowa State, Colorado, Boise State. I am going to do a singles bet. Not a parlay, but I'm doing a singles bet. $5 per team.
I love it. Let's see how good I can do.
We're gonna find out.
It's a random thing. So
we're gonna find out.
I'm basing all of mine just based strictly on fields right now. I got no information.
I think a lot of it was based off of teams that you have heard of versus teams that you haven't heard of.
I've heard of every team that you listed.
I'm glad that you have. I'm glad that you're saying that you have. And that concludes our new segment of Connor's Rapid Fire Uninformed College Spread Picks.
Side bet: whatever your yearly mortgage is, put it on an Ashley Genty touchdown. It'll win you 3 months free mortgage?
Probably not. It'll probably get you half of one.
Yeah, that's it's not.
Ashton Genty is going to be minus 450 or so to score a touchdown.
2 touchdowns.
Now,
he's probably going to be minus 450 for 2 touchdowns. Against Hawaii, yeah. Fuck.
Hawaii is putting up, so versus Utah State, I think the spread was like 30, or it was 27.5. You won money on it because we won by 30.
Oh, yeah.
But Hawaii's supposed to be better. And then we have UNLV, who is beating Utah State at half better than Boise State was.
Yep.
So that's happening as we speak. Let's move
back
on.
To stuff I know about.
NFL football. Chargers go into Denver to take on the Denver Broncos and Bo Nix, Sean Payton. Denver Broncos are 3-point underdogs at home to the Chargers that have Justin Herbert back.
Mm-hmm. Bo Nix has been playing some good football.
I don't get the over-under. I don't get the over-under line at all. Does not make a lick of sense to me. Really? Maybe you'll be able to explain it.
I think that the over-under is great because I'm still taking the Chargers minus 3 on this.
Okay, the spread, yeah, I get.
Are you saying it should be more in favor of the Chargers?
No, I'm talking about the over-under. not the spread.
Wow. Wake up, Connor. That crown's hitting 35.5. What about? Oh, yeah, that feels low.
Super low.
That feels super
I don't
low.
understand what the
Oh my gosh
over under there is.
Because Broncos, Bo Nix has been cooking. Chargers are coming off. So the Broncos defense is the best part of their game.
Yeah.
Their offense has still been cooking though and putting up points. And the Chargers are coming off of a bye, so they've been preparing for this Broncos defense for the last week and a half. Yeah, hammer the over. That's going on. That's
kind of what I'm saying. The Broncos blew out the Bucs.
That over under kind of feels like
a trap bet.
No, it feels like so with over unders. A lot of players or a lot of people that watch know what the top defenses are. And it's a common way of thinking that if a top defense is playing, take the under because it's going to be a low-scoring game. That's kind of what this feels like. People have the Broncos as such a good defense that Vegas is hoping that people are going to take the under on that, especially if they make it low. It makes it like more appealing to take the under. Yeah, no, give me the over.
How does the under being 35.5 make you want to take the under more? Like to me, that
because if you were to go up with the top two defenses in the entire NFL, right? Vegas is. I've never seen a over under lower than 32. 32 was the lowest over under I ever saw, and I think that game it was I don't remember who it was, but it was like the top two defenses. It was like 3 or 4 years ago played, and the game ended at like a 21-point match. Like it was super low scoring the entire time because the defenses are so good that not a lot of people play points. So when a super low under is like that, it usually means that game is going very under. So the Vegas puts the odds on the lower scale because if 32 is the lowest I've ever seen. So a 35.5 is a pretty low. That means they think it could end up down here, which is what a lot of bettors do. Like on a very high scoring game, like if you see in college an over under is like 73 and it's the top two offenses, you're still going to take that over because 73 is very hittable. Same thing in the NFL, but reversed with unders.
I get
people
that.
also don't like betting unders. So a lot of teams try to do that, but this one doesn't make any sense. Broncos have been playing good offense. J.K. Dobbins is about to run all over the Broncos defense. Yeah,
I agree.
Give me the over.
Okay.
I took Chargers -3. Who are you taking spread?
I'm also taking the Chargers.
Also taking the Chargers. Man, we're kind of in line. This is a weird segment. This never happens in our entire friendship. This never happens.
I'm actually flipping. Give me the Broncos +3.
Just because I said something?
Well, no. The more I think,
I do kind of feel
the Broncos are kind of the Broncos are kind of a wagon. Like they are an unexpected wagon. They were supposed to be a shitty team. I see them being a playoff team at this point in the year. Like, your laptop.
I forgot my laptop charger. So for Dad, I'm just going off straight feels now.
We're going straight feels. So Broncos have kind of been a wagon unexpectedly. Good for Tyson. Good for Tyler. Good for my whole family that's Broncos fans. But Jim Harbaugh, hard-nosed team, hard-nosed defense. They're going to run the rock. Yep. I get the under thing, but it is Justin Herbert. He is going to play. I like the over.
It kind of feels the same for me as the Commanders do. Like a rookie quarterback's come out here and done really good for like 2 or 3 games, and then plays against a defense that I think is going to know how to stop a rookie quarterback. Like both the Harbaugh brothers, I think are going to shut down these 2 rookie quarterbacks.
It is an AFC West matchup though, and we know division matchups are always close.
Tend to be close.
3-point spread, I get. If it was 3.5, I'd be really confident in Broncos +3.5, but I'm still going to.
That's kind of how I feel. If it was 2.5, I'd be super confident on Chargers. 3.5, I'd be betting Broncos, but I'll still take the Chargers. Wouldn't even be shocked if this ended in a wash where neither of us scored. So next up, Atlanta Falcons coming off of Kirk Cousins whipped his penis out.
Kirk Cousins did whip his
Thursday
penis
Night
out.
Football. Going into Carolina, Falcons are 6-point favorites.
Give me the Falcons. And give me the under.
Under
47.
So I'm torn on the over under. I'm also taking Falcons -6. I'm actually going to take the over though because the Falcons defense has not looked superb. They've looked beatable with a good running game, and Chuba Hubbard has surprised me. I thought he was not a good running back, but he's been doing very good in NFL games. The Falcons do have Grady Jarrett back. I think Andy Dalton will get a play or 2 off downfield. Never mind. You know what? I'm going over. Over and Falcons -6.
Okay.
Okay.
Also Falcons -6, but give me the under.
And then the game that should be the Sunday Night Football game.
Yeah. So actually, NBC tried to flex.
Heard that.
But they wanted the Commies Ravens game. And CBS said, no way, Jose. So I'm assuming that's their number one game. So we're going to have Tony Romo and Jim Nantz calling the Commies Ravens.
No, Tony Romo is actually calling the Steelers-Raiders game.
So, okay, all right. Cool, good for them.
Yeah. Heard
sure?
that.
You're sure?
I heard it on the Pat show today. I can confirm. But
you didn't watch the fucking Pat show today.
I did. Steelers, Raiders, announcer. Where is it? What? No, I swear they were talking about Tony Romo.
That's
calling
Mandela
the Steelers
effect,
game.
brother.
Oh no. It's the worst announcer in football calling the game. I'm
Charles Davis?
On mute. Yeah, I'm listening to the entire game on mute.
We don't need to dog on Charles Davis. Here's the deal with Charles Davis, okay? Charles Davis is the announcer for Madden. So when you listen to Charles Davis call Madden game every single time you play Madden, then you have to listen to him on actual NFL Sunday, and he has an opinion on every single play, and his opinions are propositioned in the same way. He builds up something, and then he's very frustrating to listen to. I'm with you. Yeah. CBS picks what game is their favorite, and they put their best announcers on the game. Same way. So you're gonna have Tom. You're gonna have Tom Brady.
I heard that on this. Yeah, that's my bad.
You're gonna have Tom Brady and Kevin Burkhardt for Fox calling the Lions Cowboys because that's all Tom Brady does is call Cowboys games. If the Cowboys aren't in prime time, you're gonna have Jim Nantz and Tony Romo calling the Commies Ravens. But anywho's it. Love being right. Lions are 3-point favorites at Allegiant Stadium it's not Allegiant Stadium.
Cowboys is AT&T Bank.
It's in Arlington. That's where I'm getting the A from. It's in Arlington.
Oh my gosh, what's the name of the stadium?
I can't remember.
Is AT&T Bank Cowboys or is that Viking Stadium?
I don't know.
Someone's Wi-Fi is not working too well over here, so I'm struggling.
Well, we've got a lot going on.
Yeah. It's not loading, so we're going off of vibes.
Cowboys.
What are you feeling on this one?
Cowboys.
I have a bet that I think is guaranteed on this one. I'm very confident.
Cowboys at home. Is Micah Parsons back?
No idea. Your internet's not working. My computer's shut off. I wouldn't be shocked if he was. I don't think it was a serious injury that he had. But whether he is or not, give me easy Lions -3. Cowboys are coming in off of a very high, playing on Sunday Night Football. Last second drive to beat the Steelers. Lions had a bye week last week, so Dan Campbell has been able to hype his guys up for an entire week and a half. I'm a big believer in teams coming off of a bye, just coming out and crushing. Like if you have double the time to play against or to practice against a certain opponent and know what they're going to do, I think it's a lot easier to win this game. I think Lions -3. I also just hate the Cowboys, so go Lions.
I also hate the Cowboys. Micah Parsons is ruled out. Eric Kendricks is out. Deron Bland is questionable. Lions coming off of a bye, yes. Cowboys are going to score points. Lions are going to score more points. Jared Goff is unbelievable. He's in his bag. Give me Dan Campbell and the Lions beating the Cowboys. Cowboys are 3-3, and they're 3-2.
They feel like a 3-3.
They feel like a 3-3 team, if not worse. They're doing better than they should be.
Cowboys is AT&T Stadium, though.
Okay.
I was right.
Gotcha. Give me the over, but give me the Lions -3.
Lined up again on that one. Same thing for me.
You got the
Cowboys and over, yeah.
Lions and over.
Oh, Lions and over, yeah. That's what I meant. Then Sunday Night Football.
In MetLife Stadium, you have the New York Giants playing in New Jersey against the Cincinnati Bengals, hosting Joey B and the boys. Giants are 3.5-point underdogs. Over under is 47 points. Giants only giving 3.5 points on Sunday Night Football. I know in our Pick'ems league, I took the Giants, which you see as a very questionable move. I have reasons. Okay,
it's fair. I'm flaming you for it. Would I be absolutely shocked if the Giants came out and won this? No. The Giants have been playing surprisingly good football. Daniel Jones has looked, average to slightly above average. Tyrone Tracy, though, last week came out
unbelievable.
Was a dog.
Yeah.
They are still without Malik Neighbors, which worries me. He is such a good receiver.
Is that confirmed?
Yes. Fuck. Yes, confirmed. He's out. So it's going to be, who is it? Wan'Dale Robinson and, oh my gosh, who's the mediocre Giants receiver that's been there forever? Who's their number 2?
Slayton.
Darius Slayton. It's going to be them toting the rock. No Jalen Hyatt. Fuck Jalen Hyatt.
Yeah.
Questionable bet from Connor. Thought he was going to have a role without Malik Neighbors, but that's a lie.
Guy didn't get a target.
He's a special teams guy at this point. So,
yeah.
I don't know. The Bengals they should have won the game last week. They should have beat the Ravens. And I think if they had beat the Ravens, we would have came into this game thinking of it a lot differently.
Sure.
Doesn't matter how good the Giants would have been. We would have thought that the Bengals were going to whoop them. And I'm going to say that, hey, yep, you missed a kick. Cool. If you had made the kick, I would have bet heavy money on the Bengals minus 3.5. Even though you missed it, I'm still going to take the Bengals 3.5. Nothing against the Giants. Arizona State touchdown. Let's go. Huge.
Fucking
love it.
Dude.
Love it.
Utah losing would be so huge.
I'm actually going to I would be excited if the Giants won this for the AFC North.
Okay.
Because I want the Bengals to lose as many games as possible. I just don't think it's this week. Bengals minus 3.5 for me. I'm going to take the under, though, at 47.
Okay.
It feels like two streaky offenses, and I could see either one of them doing bad. I'm hoping it's the Giants. I guess I'm betting on the Bengals, but I'm hoping that it's the Bengals that do bad. So give me the under.
So the Giants are coming off a really good win against the Seahawks.
Big time upset.
It was a big time upset, and the main takeaway for me, and I could be wrong, I'm not a football expert by any means. Main takeaway for me watching that game was Brian Daboll and his coaching staff outcoached Mike McDonald and their coaching staff. I think Brian Daboll is going to continue to outcoach opponents. He's not a coach of the year for no reason. I think Danny Dimes is looking much, much better. I think he hears the noise, and I think he's getting sick of it. I think he's starting to play really good football. Even without Malik Neighbors, I think with Wan'Dale Robinson and Darius Slayton and fucking Tracy, dude. Guy can tote the rock.
He's a dog.
He played really, really well.
I think I picked him up in our fantasy league, actually.
The Bengals
he did so good. I was like, I have to.
The Bengals have always struggled on the offensive line, or at least for the last few years, they've struggled on the offensive line. Giants' interior defense is one of the best in the league. Sexy Dexy, Dexter Lawrence is probably the best defensive tackle in the NFL. Kayvon Thibodeau is going to have a day.
Good. Brian Burns is back.
Brian Burns is a dog. I mean, they're gonna tear it up. I understand the Bengals aren't a 1-4 team,
and so that's another.
People are going to keep saying that. Joey Burrow, his yards, touchdowns, all of his quarterback stats, he's like first in the NFL, and they're not winning games. I don't think that's a recipe for like, oh, this is fluky, this is fluky, this is fluky. Like if you're playing extremely good quarterback play and your team is consistently losing, there's something wrong. Like internally,
I would worry for Zach Taylor's like job security.
Yeah.
If they come out and the Bengals have been doing as good as they have been, but still making so many mistakes that they're losing these games, if the Bengals come out 1-5, he's probably a little worried. They lose the next game. If they lose this game and the next game, oh my gosh, I'd be waiting for the phone call if I was him.
Yeah.
And I don't see it happening. I don't see the Bengals as a 1-5 team. I think that they're going to win this, and I don't see the Giants as a 3-3 team. They seem like a 2-4 team to me, where it's like, hey, on any given Sunday, we could either put up a fight or make an upset, but most of the time we're going to lose. They feel like a 2-4 team. Bengals feel like they feel better than the 2-4 they're going to be if they win this. But don't love the spread. Wish it was 2.5. I'm going to say that a lot. I always wish that, but still give me the Bengals minus 3.5.
Okay. Give me the Giants plus 3.5. Give me the over.
Okay. I don't hate the Giants plus 3.5 pick. Ugh. And the bad thing is, like, that's what I'm rooting for. So it's like, do I bet against what I'm rooting for? Because I think that the Bengals win this, but I'm going to be rooting so hard for the Giants. And if Idaho had a Giants jersey, I'd be wearing it Sunday Night Football. But
right.
I don't. No, I'll stick with my pick.
Let's move on to Bills-Jets Monday Night Football. Jets.
No more Robert Saleh.
Without Robert Saleh, they have Jeff Ulbrich as their interim head coach, who's kind of a dog. Kind of a dog. He's a football
liked a lot
guy.
of the interviews he was giving out this week.
Yeah, I like the pictures of him on the Seahawks. Jets are 2.5-point dogs. Line is 41 for the over/under. Jets could be 7.5-point underdogs. It really doesn't matter to me. Give me the Bills to kind of boat race them. I think Aaron Rodgers and the entire Jets offense is going to feel – I mean, everyone feels guilty when the head coach gets fired. They blame themselves. They're going to come out swinging a hot bat, firing on all cylinders. I just don't think it's going to be enough versus the Bills. So give me the over on the 41. I'm going a lot of overs this week, which is uncharacteristic, but I think offenses are starting to catch up with defenses. And I think the Bills are going to win this game steadily. I'm excited to watch this game, actually. I think it's going to be a good Monday Night Football game. Thank God, because the Sunday Night Football game is going to suck.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's not. That's why I'm taking Giants in the over, but it looks like it's going to suck. Let's go Bills over 41.
Okay. I'm a big believer in a big change makes a big difference. Quarterback changes do a little bit. Head coaching changes lights a fire into the team.
Yeah.
And the Jets one is such a weird situation because of the Aaron Rodgers aspect of it. Is it the owner that's doing it? Is it Aaron Rodgers the reason that Saleh was fired? Rodgers came out and vehemently denied it. But if you have 100 sources saying that he's doing it and then he's saying that he's not, it's like, okay, like, what are we kind of believing? I don't know. I think he had more of a part in it than he's trying to admit. I think that he is going to try to silence a lot of people this game. He has not been playing good football, and I'll be the first to admit it. But I'm taking Aaron Rodgers on Monday night.
Wow.
Head coach firing, it sometimes can spark a team.
Yep.
I mean, you and I made a lot of money last year off the Raiders when Antonio Pierce took over. That was huge. It changed the entire culture. I don't know if it's going to be consistent for him. I think that, weirdly enough, I think that the Bills win this, but somehow only win it by 1 point. I think it comes down to a last-second Bills field goal, and they win it.
Okay.
Also, give me the under, though. The Bills' defense is sneaky good, and the Jets' defense has been very good. So
yeah,
I love the under on this game. It's one of my favorite bets of the week.
Okay, we got a lot of parity here. I've got a lot of away teams. What you did on your Connor's rapid fire uninformed college spread picks. You got a lot of away teams. I've got a lot of away teams.
My new favorite segment. I like that.
It was fun. It was fun. I told you it'd be fun.
Yeah. I was like, I had no idea what I was getting into. So yeah, he just rolled it out. The last time he was like, hey, by the way, you're doing a segment. No idea what I was getting into.
Well,
thought it was going to be a public humiliation thing for me.
No.
So that was not bad. I mean, after I get every single one wrong, it's going to be public humiliation.
Right. But you crushed it. So far, I think you crushed it. And we're going to – I mean, I wouldn't have – I like the Ohio State pick. South Carolina, I would have taken to cover the 21.5. Yeah, I mean, the list goes on.
The more I thought about it, the one that I might have changed was I might have taken Rutgers.
Rutgers to cover against Wisconsin. Wisconsin hasn't been a great football team this year, and Rutgers
the more I've thought about it, but we already did the segment. I'm going to keep it.
Okay.
But I will say that that's the one that, like, after I did them all, that was the one that stuck in my head.
Let's build a ladder.
Goddamn ladder. We already got that square locked down.
Bucks minus 3.5. We love that one.
Don't got to worry about it anymore.
What else do we love?
So we were in parity. We were online, thinking same brain on a lot of the picks this week.
Yeah. Which could spell disaster.
But
we need to not overthink.
Or could spell that we win our first 13-legger.
Okay.
Or even better, we win our first 3-legger. Week 6. We're due.
We sure are.
So ones that we were both in line with. Jaguars beating the Bears, which feels like a coin flip. I might be down for it up top. Don't really want it down there. Ravens minus 7. Texans Patriots over. Eagles minus 9.5. I love. We also were in coercion with under 42.5 on that one. Cardinals plus 5.5. I don't love. Not double down on the same game, but Bucks Saints over 42 feels like a lock. Colts plus 3 feels like a lock. Chargers Broncos over 35.5 feels really good. Falcons minus 6. I get that it's a division game, but that still feels pretty good. Those are like the ones that are standing out to me that, like, hey, I love them.
Let's take all the brain out of it. Okay. Let's just picture hungover, like some of the best parlays I've ever hit. I'm hungover on Sunday, and I'm just sitting there like, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that. I like Colts plus 3 versus Titans.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
I like Texans Patriots over 37.5. I love Commies Ravens over 51.5. I love Jags Bears under 44.5. I don't know if you like that one or not.
I mean, we were against each other on both of them. The next two that I love are Bucks Saints over 42 and Eagles minus 9.5.
I will not put a minus 9.5 on the bottom line. I'll put it on the next line, but I'm not going to put it on the bottom line.
How about a high-scoring Bucks versus but the Saints might not score fucking any points with goddamn
Rattler
under center. Okay, hold up.
What about Chargers Broncos over 35.5?
I like that a lot. I like that bet. I like that bet a lot.
You like that one?
Yep. Okay. Denver. I see. Over.
35.5?
35.5, yep.
Okay. What?
How confident are you in the Cardinals keeping this shit close?
I'm very confident we're going to keep it close.
Because I don't hate it at all. I think the Packers are a very good football team.
My problem is the last time we put the Cards on this board, it went very poorly.
I'd be down to throw them up top a little bit higher up.
Yeah.
A little bit higher up.
So we're getting plus 582 out of this one. So that's $50.
Yeah, we went all spreads. There's no money lines on that one.
342.
I think that's been our problem is we've been trying to play it safe with fucking money lines. We shouldn't do that.
The football gods are punishing us.
We are because they're punishing us for being bitches. We ain't fucking bitches. I don't fuck any bitches.
I am fucking.
I don't fuck any bitches.
Okay. So, I fuck bitch, which is my wife. I mean, if you want to throw, I'm confident in this. I'm happy with this. 50 to win.
I'm happy with that. What if? Hear me out. Since we didn't do any money lines on here, we do back-to-back money lines on the 5.
Okay.
Parlay it, the 2 most confident, and then no more. Then we go spread. Then it's a big win for the top.
Okay. If we're gonna take the most confident
Ravens,
money, let's go Ravens money. Yeah. Okay. Ravens money line.
And
Falcons money line.
We don't feel good about the
Eagles.
Eagles.
Minus 9.5.
We're
gonna get 25
right. That's
of
not
the
going to do
same
anything for it.
clip.
Because I'm down for Eagles minus 9.5 up top somewhere. So let's do Ravens and then Falcons money line.
Okay.
So pretty much if the 3-team hits, the 5 teams is going to hit as well, which is good for us. That's good.
That is good.
That means we only have to hit this bottom 3-1, and then we get 5.
Ravens money line, Falcons money line.
Falcons money line. Texans Patriots over 37.5. Jaguars +1. Lions -3.
Okay, we're getting plus 1952 here, so 25 to win 513.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
For throwing in 2 money lines, I don't hate that at all.
No, it's pretty good. I like that.
Okay, what are the next 2 that you're most confident in? I'll see if they line up with my 2, because I have my next 2 that I feel the most confident in.
Okay. My next 2 that I'm most confident in would be Lions -3 and Bills -2.5. So I don't think we're going to align on that because we were differed.
No, I have the Lions -3. That was one of mine as well.
Lions -3.
That was one of mine as well. Is Lions -3. My other one is Eagles -9.5.
You want to do that here? I'll do that here.
Coming in off a bye, they've had 2 weeks to prepare. Going in against the worst quarterback in the NFL. They have Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown both back. I don't see a way that they don't win that by 9.5.
Okay. Lions -3. Eagles -9.5. We're getting plus 7,082. We throw 10 on this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
10 to win $719.
Okay. And then, so I'm kind of thinking, because this is at the point where we're kind of, now we start to differ. Like,
yeah,
these are the ones that we both like. How do you feel about once we get down to the 9 and the 11? You pick one, I pick one. You pick one, I pick one. So whatever one you're most confident in, and then whatever one I'm most confident in. Because we're going to differ on some of them that we each feel just super confident about. Bills -2.5?
Yeah.
Chargers -3.
Okay, we're gonna throw another 10 on this one.
5.
5. You're right.
Because then we do 5 and we may as well just do 5 and 5. That's fine.
Yeah, 5.
That's 25, 35.
Bills -2.5. Chargers -3.
Actually, wait, no. Do 10 and 5 because then it's just that's the even 100. That's what we did last time. Because if it's 50, 75, 85, 95, 100,
yep,
100 is that's good. So do 10 on that one as well.
Okay, Chargers -3. We can't do Chargers -3. Why? We already have Chargers.
We did over.
You're right. I don't know why. That's okay.
Is it not working?
No, it is. Oh, we're good. $10 to win $1,589.
I love it. Okay. Last leg. You're gonna put your Cardinals on there.
Am I? You are.
No, I said, are you? That's not the next one I'm not gonna put them on there. Like that's not my next bet. So if you want them on there,
I got mine.
The over?
Yeah. 36.5.
Okay. I believe in the London boys. Jaguars +1. Actually, just make it Jaguars money line. Because +1 does nothing. It's not going to end in a tie.
Yeah. It appears my son has awoken.
Okay.
So Steelers, Raiders, over and Jags money line gives us an 11-leg parlay at +5 or +59,445. So we're gonna do $5 to win $2,978.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, so the whole bet is $100 to win 2,978 plus 1,589 plus
should be like $5,800.
719 plus 513 plus 342 $6,000.
Oh my gosh!
$100 to win $6,141. That's a few months of car payments and
yeah, that's pretty nice. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Okay.
So let's go lock this in. Give me a second while I go finish up my player prop bet.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get that for you guys. You go take care of the kiddo. We'll be back in like 2 seconds. All right.
We are back with Shots and Ladders, your home for gambling, drinking, and degeneracy.
It's just not as smooth as the screwball.
It's not.
But if it hits,
As
if
we
the
take
parlay
another
hits,
shot.
if the parlay hits while we're drinking it,
And then we're sticking with Crown Peach, which is more expensive as well, I believe.
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Which is fine.
As the
We're not worried
supplier
about money
for,
because we're making money for.
yeah, we're gonna win this one. I feel very confident.
Yeah, we've said that.
I know.
I have zero confidence, to be honest with you, but I'm confident in this square. I don't think the Bucks are going to let us down again.
So I already put a $530 bet down on the Bucks.
530,
and I'm probably gonna put more.
Okay, cool.
I'm very. But when I did that, it was Bucks -3, not 3.5. So it's like if it ends at 3, it's like okay, perfect. I get my money back. I still feel confident. I don't know. It's one of those things where I just don't see a Saints rookie quarterback. Where Derek Carr, I don't even think if Derek Carr was playing, I would take the Saints +3.5. Like I think I would still take Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baker's a dog. We love Baker here.
Yeah, we do.
Bucks are good. They're playoff bound, so yeah, love that. Love the Colts +3. Kind of feels trappy, but fuck the Titans. Chargers Broncos
over 35.
That's like two big J.K. Dobbins rushes. We're good.
We're
out here though.
On this third hour-ish, we're gonna have Connor's
player prop parlay.
He's got 11 legs, and I have the option to veto one of them to make it a 10-leg parlay. So we are going to hear out his 11 legs. I will choose which one I'm vetoing, and that will be the 10-leg parlay player prop lock for Sunday. I recommend tailing it just because Connor has been swinging such a hot fucking bat.
I've been.
On the player prop parlay.
And it's been a week and a half since I've hit one, which means with the rate that I've been going at, it's due. It's due. So,
all right, let's hear it.
Okay, let's go through them. So, first leg in London, Tank Bigsby, over 35.5 rushing yards.
Okay.
I love Travis Etienne. Tank Bigsby has been taking over a lot of the work, though.
Yeah.
Through the 5 games that he's played, he's hit this in 3 of his last 5 games, and one of them he did not play in. So 3 of the last 4 that he's played in, he's hit this by far. Next leg, Terry McLaurin, over 45.5 receiving yards.
Like that.
Playing against the Ravens could be a very high-scoring game. Marshawn Lattimore is not playing, so he's not covered by Marshawn the whole time. With the way that Scary Terry plays, that's 1 catch. He could get that in 1 reception.
Yeah.
Next up, Antonio Gibson, over 2.5 receptions.
Love that bet.
So rookie quarterbacks are always going to look for their checkdowns, tight ends and running backs. Yep. So Gibson is already a receiving back primarily. He's going to be in the game more. I think 2.5 receptions is a lock. Fourth leg, and A.J. Brown under 95.5 receiving yards. So coming back for the first time. The only good thing about their Browns, and it's not even a great thing, it's a good thing, is their defense. They have Denzel Ward and they have Greg Newsome. They've got decent corners. I think this is going to be a Saquon game. I don't think A.J. Brown's going to hit 100 yards, so under 95.5. Next leg, Kyler over 25.5 rushing yards against the Packers.
Okay.
That's one Kyler rush.
Yeah.
He's got that in, I was looking it up earlier. I think it's 3 or 4 of the last 5 that he's played. And he's been rushing for a lot.
That's one of the biggest complaints from Cardinals fans, and Jonathan Gannon addressed it too, was Kyler Murray wasn't having enough design quarterback runs because they're just worried about him getting hurt. But it's like, are we going to sacrifice winning football games for Kyler being healthy if we don't make the playoffs, it doesn't matter if he's healthy or not. Yeah. So their last game, they ran Kyler on design runs more often, and he had that one where on the 42-yard line, he's throwing up the peace sign. I'm fucking gone.
That was sick.
It was awesome.
That was a big dick move right there.
So yeah, I love that. I love that bet.
Okay. Next bet, Chris Godwin over 45.5 yards against the Saints. Okay. Receiving yards. Yep. Against the Saints. Mike Evans. Chris Godwin has weirdly, I wouldn't say he's become the number 1 receiver, but he's getting more targets than Mike Evans.
Yeah.
And that has part to do with the defenses. They're covering Mike more, because he has that big play potential, because Mike Evans is still the better receiver, but Godwin has been getting targeted a lot, and I think Baker's going to be throwing the ball a decent amount in this game.
And whether he's better or not, it's more like he's the number 1. Like, they are going to cover Mike.
Yeah, 100%.
They're going to emphasize Mike.
I was going to say, I don't think Godwin's the number 1, but he's getting more targets right now.
Yeah.
So Godwin over 45.5 receiving yards.
Okay.
Next line, Tony Pollard over 45.5 rushing yards against the Colts. Yeah. You know how I feel about the Colts defense.
Yeah.
Don't think it's very good. I just like it. I think he could hit this in probably the first half. Next up, Najee Harris, Steelers Nation. Najee sucks. He's going to be gone by next year. Under 80.5 rushing yards.
80.5.
I don't remember the last time I saw Najee Harris get 80 yards total in a game, much less just rushing. Under 80.5. Next leg, David Montgomery, over 45.5 rushing yards.
That's it?
45.5 rushing yards. All of these are bought down a little bit because I want to give them a good chance to hit. It gives it a good sweat. It's so much fun rooting for player prop parlays. And David Montgomery, I just traded him. So I think I've talked about fantasy football more in this episode than any other episode, but it's because I just made the huge trade. So I traded away Saquon Barkley. I got David Montgomery, Jaden Reed, and Stephon Diggs. I gave up Saquon and Nick Chubb, who we don't know who's going to happen. So I'm now big on David Montgomery. Mm-hmm. Obviously, him and Jahmyr Gibbs are always going to split carries, but it feels like it's always one drive. And when Monty's in the game, it's a lot more rushing. So I think he can hit it. Darnell Mooney has been an absolute stud for the Falcons. Good. Out of nowhere. Like he was always pretty good on the Bears, but he's never been this good. Over 35.5 receiving yards. It's nothing. Yeah. And then Monday night, Alan Lazard, the Jets' number 1 receiver. Number 2, but yeah, Rodgers just loves him. Over 20.5 receiving yards.
Okay.
What's your veto?
I don't have one. Honestly,
you don't have one.
Every single line sounds so good. So if I were to veto one, it would either be Tony Pollard or Alan Lazard.
If I were to get rid of one, it would be the Pollard one. Lazard's a lock. Here, So Lazard has been one of my favorite player prop bets because he's always underrated. Look at this. So if I look up Alan Lazard stats for the year, so his line's 20.5. Guess how many times he's gone under that? This year, he's played 5 games. 2? Only once.
Wow.
Against the Tennessee Titans. And not only was that, it was the only time he's gone under 33. So that's an extra 13 receiving yards that he can get. Okay. If I were to veto one, it would be Pollard because I personally don't think Pollard's a great running back. I think they should start playing Tyjae Spears a lot more.
Right.
And I think as the year progresses, he will start to take over. So if I were to veto one, it would be that one. But so you guys have the numbers. You can either tail the 11 leg, or if you want to take out Pollard and follow the 10 leg, whichever one you guys want. With the 11 leg, if you were to put $100 on it, you would win $4,558.
Do it.
Plus 44.58 odds.
Do it.
If you take out Pollard here and put $100 on it, you're winning $34.99.
Let's think about who's most likely to be injured after just coming off this Jordan Mason bullshit.
That one hurts. That busted all of our parlays.
Yeah, so, that was brutal.
You guys could have followed the one that I posted on Twitter, but Colson had a couple. I had, 5? And I think in 3 of the 5 that I had a Jordan Mason touchdown. I think in all of the ones you had,
all of mine are Jordan Mason touchdown.
It was supposed to be a lock, and I think it would have been a lock if he hadn't got hurt.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's the one thing we can never account for. That's the scary thing about putting player props down. That's why a lot of people just do unders. They buy them up all the way and then take an under. It's not a bad move. Might not be a bad idea for us to do one of those one time, just because if an injury does happen, it's a guarantee that it hits.
Yeah.
But unders are just no fun to root for. We like rooting for overs. Yeah. We want a good game.
We like having fun.
Because at the end of the day, obviously we're having fun betting on this, and we're trying to make money, but we're football fans through and through. Yeah. I would rather miss a $20 bet and have a good game than have a shitty 10-3 game and make all my bets. I would rather have a good game that I can watch.
Well said.
That's why I like overs. You guys will notice that's a trend throughout the entire time that we do this podcast. Is I will throw an under in every once in a while, but overs are the most fun because it's something to root for. So
overs are electrifying. What else is electrifying is Utah is down 8 with the ball. No, Arizona State has the ball.
Arizona State has the ball. Utah just turned it over on downs.
They're on the 30. Oh my god.
Yeah, Utah turned it over on downs. And that's a first down. Arizona State about to win this. Oh, I put $20 on this game.
Yeah, you 41. Did. Yeah. You picked
that's an
Arizona
easy $41. That's an easy $41 right there.
Arizona State money line. So now we get Utah out as far as the Big 12 goes. So we just need Iowa State to lose to West Virginia Mountaineers, and then we need BYU to lose to Arizona. Which even if neither of those happen this year or this week, we've eliminated one Big 12 team.
Yeah,
we just need to keep getting rid of Big 12 teams.
At this point in the year, between Boise State and the Big 12, those are really the only 3 that theoretically could end above Boise State. Theoretically.
Yeah.
I still think, though, that so Utah was the big one because Utah was 16th? 16th?
And Boise
State's
State's
they're
17.
right there with Broncos.
Yeah.
I think that if the Broncos win out, I don't think any of those teams are going to beat us. Maybe BYU gets ranked ahead of us if they win out consistently. That's the big one. Yeah. That's the big one that I want to lose. Like if BYU could have,
but Iowa State, dude. Iowa State's ranked what? 11. They're ranked.
Iowa State will lose the game 11. At some point. Oh, Arizona State's kneeling. Hey,
that's
a dub. That's a dub.
That's the final timeout.
That's what we do. Yeah. That's 1 out of the 3 that we need. Oh, don't leave me. Oh, there we go. That's 1 out of the 3 that we needed.
So yeah, we need BYU and Iowa State because if either one of them, there's always the roundabout where let's say Iowa State loses or whatever, one of Iowa State or BYU loses, and then the other team wins the Big 12 championship, and the Big 12 champion automatically gets the seed, but it has to do with rankings, and it's not automatic that the Big 12 gets the 4 seed. And Big 12 is only going to have one team make the playoffs. Yep. It's going to be their champion. It's the only team on the Big 12 that's going to make the playoffs, unless BYU gets ranked, say BYU gets up to top 9 and then loses the Big 12 championship. They could still technically make the playoffs, and Iowa State could also get the 12 seed. But if that happens,
I love that college football went to a 12 team.
Oh my god!
By the way,
it's so cool.
Just throwing that out there,
and it's so fun, dude. I was trying to explain it. I was trying to explain it to Janie, and she just couldn't fucking grasp it. She was like, "I need Connor to explain this to me because you're so good at explaining things," which is insulting to me, but it makes sense. But the fact that Boise State, as a Mountain West football team, a group of 5 college football team, could end up with a 4 seed and a first round bye.
Yeah.
Is so cool, dude. I fucking love it.
I love that they started it this year too. Like,
yeah,
when
Ashton
year to do it.
Ashton Genty's junior year. What better of a year to start it than now?
Oh, you want to hear something disgusting? I was watching it was a TikTok. It was a clip from a podcast. I don't remember whose it was, but someone was talking, and they were talking about Ashton Genty, and they were like, if I was his agent, if I was his manager, I would tell him to sit out the rest of the year.
No, it was PFT commenter. PFT commenter.
Was it who?
Yeah, so because
he's like, Ashton Genty's already going to be a borderline first round pick, like any running back will be.
This is pardon my take. You probably don't want pardon my take, but it's Big Cat.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Yep. I didn't recognize PFT, but yeah, it was Big Cat.
PFT was like,
he was like, you should sit out because you're already there. You're already going to make the money. The best thing that you could do is keep doing what you do. If you have a bad game, craziest stat ever. Best running back in the NFL right now is yards per carry is Derrick Henry. He's averaging like 6.4 or 6.5. Like him and Lamar are the only ones above 6. If Ashton Genty came out, get this, if he averages 10 yards a carry the rest of the season, he brings down his average.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, what the fuck?
Right.
Have you ever heard? That's never been done. And if he were to average 10 yards a carry, 4 yards a carry better than the best NFL player, he will bring down his averages. He's that good. So it's like nothing that he can come out and do besides be consistent is really going to help him. And so if I were to put on his agent's shoes, I could understand that argument where, hey, you don't want to risk getting hurt. You don't want to risk, but that's just like, it's playing scared. You don't want to play scared. I think he wants the Heisman.
He does.
He wants the fucking Heisman.
He wants it, yeah.
And that's the
he
only
does the
reason
fucking Heisman pose after.
Because if he didn't want it, like if Travis Hunter just came out and had an electric year, where even as good as Ashton Genty has been doing, Hunter was still the favorite. I could see Genty sitting out for a couple games just to make sure he doesn't get hurt. I don't think it's gonna happen though.
No,
he wants it. He wants the Broncos to win this.
He cares about legacy, and he cares about. So picture this. So like,
if you can be the person that gets the Boise State Broncos to their first ever playoff, in the first ever college football 12-team playoff, you're the one that gets the fucking Boise State Broncos, who no one thought were. I mean, you and I thought it because we're delusional.
No,
we're delusional.
I mean,
Broncos
people
fans.
thought the Broncos were going to be the Group of 5 team. Like, we're the best Group of 5 historically. We're the best Group of 5 team, like by far. It's not even close.
Well,
just so you know, like
So I know like overall history. I think this year specifically, though, people thought that the Broncos were going to like fight for it. I don't think it was like guaranteed that we were going to be that team. Like until Genty started playing like he did, I don't think it was like guaranteed that we were. Because like now it's, hey, the Broncos are that team.
Yeah.
Like you have to beat that team in order to get there.
Like
I don't think we were that before the season started.
The Herd Bros, who are like Marshall guys, who Marshall's a really good football team, they are like actively rooting for Boise State because they're a Group of 5 team. Like every Group of 5 fan base is rooting for Boise State because they want Boise State. They don't want the Group of 5 to be represented by a team that's not going to like have a chance to win a playoff game and like move on, and like they want Boise State to go.
I know, and that's why I'm so big on Boise State right now, because like so any given Sunday or in college football, any given Saturday, if the Broncos were to lose a game,
another one,
if they were to lose another one, we're shot,
done. Yeah,
which is so sad because we are by far and away the best Big 5 team.
Group of 5.
Group of 5.
Yeah.
I just said Big 5. Group of 5. By far the best Group of 5 team. Sorry, I don't know college ball. Yeah. I know what I hear from you, and I know what I hear from a couple podcasts. Yeah. It's not even close. But I think the Broncos give it's like the underdog story. It's like the ultimate underdog story that we watched in every sports movie growing up.
It's Miracle.
It's Miracle on Ice. This is Miracle on Ice, but the goddamn Boise State Broncos.
Yeah.
And if they lose, it takes away any of that. I think that most of the big teams could beat the Broncos. But do I think that the Broncos could put up a chance?
We did already. We already did.
We should have beat Oregon.
We should have beat Oregon.
Our special teams coordinator made us not beat Oregon. It was a rough. It wasn't just.
You can blame the coordinator. You can blame the players. I prefer to blame the players. Like, you're gonna give up a kick return and a punt return in the same game.
If it was one, I would blame the players. Two, I blame the coordinator.
Fair enough. But it's. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean,
that's the thing. It's like we were that close to beating Oregon. Oh my gosh, dude! How high would we be ranked right now?
We'd be like 9th.
Yeah, we would be easily top 10.
Yeah,
and then if we continue to win. Oh God, we could be
top 5.
What if we had? So if Oregon beats Ohio State,
and we lost to Oregon by 3,
blowout, like 50 points, we're top 10, right?
No, it doesn't work.
With a couple upsets,
it doesn't work.
With a couple upsets.
No, it doesn't work like that.
You give us a couple upsets? Yes.
It doesn't work like that. You don't understand how college football works. It does not work like that.
If the only loss we had was to...
They don't look at it like that.
So wait, so here's the thing. So if Oregon, who's number 3, what if they beat Ohio State by like 20?
Great. Good for Oregon. Oregon moves on to be
shows how good they are.
Oregon's number 2 now.
Yeah, so Ohio State's still going to be above us. But like, let's say a couple of these other upsets happen. Like, let's say Ole Miss loses, Tennessee loses, Notre Dame and Iowa and BYU lose. Okay, maybe that's only like 12. We have to be pushing for top 10. Pushing.
But we're
with a couple select upsets. I think we could push for a top 10.
You also have to look at how Oregon played Idaho. Oregon and Idaho hasn't done well in the FCS.
Yeah.
Idaho's lost games in the FCS.
But if they come out and beat Ohio State for 2?
Yeah. I mean, that's gonna make Oregon look really good. It's not gonna make Boise State look that much better. Like, that's a foresight or an afterthought. Like, it's not the way the college football playoff committee or the AP voters look.
See, and that just doesn't make sense in my head. Because in my
head, I get your head.
I was like,
I agree
in my head, like Boise State winning by a last-second field goal versus losing by 3 to Oregon is like the same in my mind for the Broncos rankings. It's like, okay, it shows that we're both right there.
Yeah.
So if Oregon's so much higher and they're beating teams that are even above them, that should make them look better, which by comparison makes the Broncos look better. And we haven't had a close game besides that. We've dominated everyone.
Yeah.
If we can come out and we dominate Hawaii, we dominate UNLV.
That's the big one. That's a big.
If we blow out UNLV by 20 points, and we dominate Hawaii, I don't see a reason we're not top 10.
If Oregon beats Ohio State, and we dominate UNLV next weekend, or next Friday night.
There's so many upsets. Like, there's not many undefeated teams in the top 10. So besides the top 4, so Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, and Penn State, you get Miami, Iowa State, BYU, Indiana, and Pitt. Those are the only undefeated teams.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting upset right now. So it's like our one loss, because a lot of the people's one loss is against unranked teams. They're getting bad upsets.
Teams. Yeah.
If our only loss is against a team that if they win out the rest of the time, so
Oregon could end up being number 2.
Number 2. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they beat Ohio State, number 2. I mean, what if Texas got upset too and Oregon becomes number 1, and that's our only loss?
I'm with you.
I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I'm sorry. I'm feeling that goddamn crown. I'm in the mood.
They do.
I'm here.
They do have to look at strength of schedule as well, and our strength of schedule is really weak. UNLV is a tough game. Washington State was a tough game. That was an undefeated Washington State team that we walloped. And then you have Oregon State Beavers Friday, November 29th at the end of the year. That could be, like, if that game, I can't wait to go to that game. We're going to be at that game. We're probably going to be sitting up in the box again. But
I'm there.
There's the college football.
At this point, I'm rooting for every single upset in the top 25.
Yeah,
I want every single team to get upset, and then the Broncos to win.
Yeah, me too.
Because if there was a bet that I could place right now, what do you think my odds would be if I were to go on to DraftKings? And I don't think the line's there, but for the Broncos to be top 10 at the end of the year.
That's not a line.
I know.
You can bet on them.
But what do you think the odds would be? Because I think they're fucking good. I don't know if they're quite minus, but like
quarterback.
plus 180. Like if you got a plus 180 bet on the Broncos to be top 10,
if we can
I'm
get
putting a mortgage on that shit.
if we can get into the top 8, we will have a home playoff game.
It's gotta happen.
I would be ecstatic. I also another issue. This is very frustrating. Is College Game Day wants to come to Boise State.
Pagano.
Chuck Pagano is in Pat
bring him
McAfee's
in, yeah.
ear. Like
100%.
he's in his ear 100%. And he lives in Boise. He's a big Boise guy. The problem is our biggest games, UNLV, Friday night. Okay, College Game Day is Saturday morning. You can't do College Game Day after the game already happened.
Yeah.
When's the
Oregon State?
Friday night.
Oh, fuck.
November 29th.
I thought that one was a Saturday. I was like, that would be perfect because if like Broncos were top 10 by then,
that would be the game that
would be the game that they could come to.
But they're not.
Damn.
But there's still a chance that
they're not going to come to another one. It's only those two.
There's a chance they come to like the San Diego State game because if Ashton Genty's the Heisman favorite and say Oregon wins and Boise State's like top 12 team, top 15 maybe.
Y'all best believe you're going to see us on College Game Day. We will be sitting out. I don't care how early.
I can't wait.
I will be front row.
I can't wait to kick that motherfucking field goal.
Oh, dude.
For 100,000.
We're gonna go practice. We're gonna go fucking practice.
But I could see them doing that just because they went to JMU and JMU was playing Appalachian State last year. Like they'll go to a good team's game even if the team is playing against an inferior opponent, especially if there's nothing else really going on that week or teams that they've already seen. So I could still see Game Day making their way down here, but I would love that if Game Day came. It would be such an amazing weekend.
Gotten too hyped. I got to stand up.
Oh, good for you,
Pat. We're going white tank top. We're going white fucking tank top up in here for the
he's the best thing that's happened to sports media. But yeah, man, it's Boise State's got a chance. But being a Boise State fan, and I've been a college football fan for a lot longer than you have. Not saying that in a bragging way, but just I've been a college.
No, you have.
I've been a college football.
Purposefully avoided college football for many years.
I've been a college football fan long before I was an NFL fan, and Boise State always finds a way to lose a winnable game.
That's what I'm so scared about.
I'm super
That's why I brought it up earlier.
UNLV game. I'm so worried about the UNLV game. I'm worried about the San Diego State game.
I'm not worried about either of those. I'm worried about us losing to a team that has no business beating us. That's what scares me. Like a garbage game. Like that we're favored by 30 points. Yeah. Those are the ones that scare me. I think we beat UNLV because we're going to be ready for them. I think we beat Oregon State because we're ready for them. Broncos play like the fucking Steelers do, where it's like the games that there should be no competition, that we just fucking whoop them out. Those are the games that the Broncos sometimes drop in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
That's what I don't want to have happen.
Utah State was like my big game where I was, or not Utah State, Washington State was my big game where I was like, this is a classic. Boise State's on a hell of a run. I'm super hyped, and now they're gonna lose, and then our season's gonna be tanked, and then they blow them out like that. That's why I was so hyped for that game, so hyped that we won that game.
Such a good game.
And now it's like, what? Okay, what's next? Like San Jose State looks really good. San Jose State has been really, really good all year. That's a scary
I actually
game.
went to a San Jose State BSU game like 2 or 3 years ago in San Jose.
In San Jose.
In San Jose. I traveled down there to go watch one of the
Central
games.
California, huh?
I felt like going to a high school game. They don't have a stadium. It's like bleachers on either side, and you just sit on the bleachers. It was fun.
So we have UNLV.
So the one that I worry the most about. Where's our fucking schedule right here?
Wyoming lost to Idaho. We're gonna dominate that game. Nevada has been putting up some good games, but we're going to beat them. San Jose State, November 16th. San Diego State, November 1st. UNLV, Friday.
So knowing Boise State and having only followed Boise State ever, weirdly enough, the only one that scares me is Nevada.
I don't love that. That's the game you're scared about. Because I'm scared of that game too.
That's the only one that I'm scared about. We beat UNLV. guaranteed. We beat Hawaii, guaranteed. We beat San Diego State, guaranteed. San Jose State University, beat them. Wyoming, beat them. Oregon State, beat them. For some reason, that Nevada one scares the living shit out of me.
We'll see what happens.
Because the other thing is, if we lose one of those games, what does that do to Genty's Heisman candidacy?
It's not good. Like, you saw what losing to Vandy did to Jalen Miller. He's plus 1,100.
Mm-hmm.
He was the favorite. Now he's plus 1,100.
Yeah. I know. It's scary.
Yeah.
By the way, though, our bets on Genty early in the season to win Heisman looking pretty good right now. Some people that plus I knew,
30,000.
When I told some people that I knew that I'd bet on that, I was getting clowned a little bit.
Were you?
I was getting clowned a little bit.
He's the fucking favorite.
I know, he's the favorite now.
Yeah.
So he's plus 220 now? What did I get him at? I got him at, let me go pull this shit up. I made a couple Broncos bets. So I put 25 on him to win the Heisman to win 700. I got him at plus 2,800. I got him plus 200 now. I put $50 on the Broncos to make the playoffs at plus 300. They're probably a lot more of a favorite than that. And then I also threw $5 on them to win the college football championship. $5 won 1,000. I was like, maybe Genty goes on a fucking run. It's not gonna happen. That's just $5 that I threw away.
Why not?
But it gives you something to root for. So
Boise State's that team though. Like, you look back at 2007, the Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma. We weren't supposed to win that game. We weren't even supposed to come close in that game. And then they just make it happen.
We beat goddamn Adrian Peterson. Dude had nothing on us. Yeah. That was such a good game.
So fucking awesome.
That Fiesta Bowl. Oh my gosh. That was that was before the time of like YouTube replays and
I got
everything. So my mom actually had bought that on DVD. And that was the only game I ever had on DVD. I probably watched it 2 to 3 times a year. Was that Fiesta Bowl? At
Really?
07 Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma. I watched it so many times because I had it on DVD, so it was like anytime during the summer that I was like, I want to watch football, I can't go through and pull up a game. That was before like instant replays online were available. Like YouTube didn't have game replays. Mm-hmm. So I had a DVD from it and I would plug it in and play it. I watched that game so many times. Jared Zabransky, absolute fucking dog.
Yeah.
So good. The Kellen Moore before Kellen Moore.
So to tie that into your mom, who did, for those of you that are watching that don't know, his mom did pass away earlier this year. My older brother passed away in 2008, and he went to that game with his dad.
Really?
My mom's first husband, yeah, they went to that game, and my brother came back with like this keychain, and it was like this orange thing. You press a button on it, and it is the call of the Statue of Liberty for Ian Johnson. When you press the button, I don't know where.
I had that same fucking keychain. What the fuck?
My mom has it now, but it's
I lost mine. I don't know. I have the same thing. That's crazy.
So cool.
Oh my gosh,
so cool. It's such a big moment for Boise.
Hey, cheers to both of them.
Cheers.
Cheers to both of them, and cheers to the Broncos.
Go Broncos.
I do think that about concludes week 6.
Yeah, it does. So anything else you want to talk about? Anything you want to get off your chest as far as NFL goes, as far as college goes?
Not really. That's about it.
Fuck the Big 12.
Fuck the Big 12. Go Steelers.
We need to win here.
Have to win there.
Bucks -3.5.
I'm gonna be stressing that game.
Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna be sitting in a comatose state on the couch watching that game.
Yeah.
You know me. I usually watch 4 games minimum at once on the YouTube TV. I might be stressed enough that I'm just watching that game. Like that's how hyped up I am about this game. $500 is a big bet for me. Makes up for my losses last week. Last week was a rough week. Thursday wasn't great. Jordan Mason. So got to make some money back. That's the one to do it on.
I love it.
It's one of the most confident I've ever been on bets, which if the season has proved anything, that should make me more scared.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So,
well,
it was a pleasure doing the podcast with you.
This was Shots and Ladders, episode 5, week 6 of the NFL season. We'll see you guys next week where we will be doing the same thing. Hopefully talking about an awesome Boise State win.
$6,000 or richer.
Hopefully talking about Ashton Jeanty being minus odds to win the Heisman. Cheers, man. Great episode.
Thank you all for joining us.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bet responsibly, and let's win some more.
Bet responsibly.
Yeah.
At your own risk. See you next time.